I thought I put 2 o'clock. I put 1. My bad, y'all.
Nice kid on the beat.
Late night, we on a mission to get us some money in the trap bag and pets. Once you tell ain't no coming back from that. We don't deal with rats. Trapping, jumping at 12 and lurking. Ain't on us getting this money. Nigga gotta feed them kids, shit. Nigga gotta feed.
Once you tell, ain't no coming back from that. We don't deal with rats, nigga.
Late night, we on a mission to get us some money in the trap bag and pets. Once you tell ain't no coming back from that. We don't deal with rats. Trapping, jumping at 12 and lurking. Ain't on us getting this money. This new thing gon' get me a necklace. Just chirp me when you get the bezel. It's already sold, I text you. Don't worry about security, niggas got buddies on Reddit. Ain't caught me nothing in a minute. Took me a vacation from Smitty. Shit got hot in the trenches. We lost 3 outstanding members. Went to the A and caught me a charge. Guilty as fuck, but pleaded innocent. Lil' bro just caught him another one, trying to get back for our dog Urban. On 285 point red, FaceTime bro, he rolling the dead. Niggas be trying to get out that car. Don't get in this family if you scared. Free the real, fuck the feds. Don't get it twisted, a life sentence the same as being dead. Nigga, late night, we on a mission to get us some money in the trap bag and pets. Once you tell ain't no coming back from that. We don't deal with rats. Trapping, jumping at 12 and lurking. Ain't on us getting this money. Nigga gotta feed them kids, shit. Nigga gotta feed their stomachs. My brother, they brought him to work from Texas. This new thing gon' get me a necklace. Just chirp me when you get the bezel. It's already sold, I text you. Don't worry about security, niggas got buttons inside this section. The internet police, they said I got bodies on Reddit.
They know about bodies on Reddit. If the dirt and butter be telling. But my bodies ain't on no record. I go in the club about sex. Me and two be going about a bar out. Please don't tweak up in this bitch, cause we'll knock your lights out. I be flexing on my brother. I ain't gotta put it on job. These 762s go right through a car. You niggas on the net, I can make you a star. I can make you famous overnight. You can make the news if you reach 45. They find you on channel 2. Academics tell it too. Yeah, he getting body view. Everything telling shit, that shit go right up on the news. I don't give a fuck though. Yeah, we out here cuts though. Twins say we sliding, we bouncing out on hoes.
Oh, man, my bad, y'all. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Everybody in the building. Your birthday weekend. Melanated King, your B-Day. Happy B-Day, bro. Happy B-Day, happy B-Day. Weekend. Sharpshooter B-Day just passed too, man. So y'all enjoy y'all shit, man. 10 people in the building, 10 people in the building, man. What's up, 305? That baby 305. I ain't seen you in a minute. How you been? How y'all been, man? I ain't seen y'all on this page in a second. Shout out to all y'all, though. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to the UK. UK in the building, man. The UK in the building. Shout out to everybody. What I think about Lil J getting out, I don't think about Lil J getting out until he come out and tell what the fuck he was doing. Till he come out and tell what he was doing. Tell the truth. That's what I care about, the truth. The question is, do you think what he doing is cool? He in jail fucking niggas and fucking with men and then getting out fucking with bitches. Do y'all think that's cool? So till that nigga come out and stand on on his 10 toes, cause we seen the videos, nigga. The tickets and all that shit. This shit real. We ain't make this shit up. We ain't make this shit up, y'all. This shit had what they say it was written. What they say it was written. That's what they be saying, it was written. Well, it was written, goddammit. Damn, why the fuck it ain't doing that? That's crazy. To sit right there and still do that like that. Maybe I gotta put it on that side. No, that's not that side either. Fuck it, that bitch gonna be a little crooked. It is what it is. Man, you come in here and ask this same question all the time. How much attention do you want? How much attention do you want? You come ask this same fucking question every fucking time. I've been chilling, man, with my son, man. Yeah, man. So that's what I be wanting motherfuckers to see and recognize. The real. Shit that be going on. Y'all don't be peeping that shit. Shout out to everybody in the building, though. Oh, you been Gucci. That's what's up. Your mama, she'll win. She'll win, your mama. On everything, your mama gonna win. It's a damn shame you can't even get on here and behave with common sense that your mama gave you. Y'all be tripping, man. Juice Crew, what's that word? What's that word? He talking about bull hats. Nigga, this ain't no for you, you stupid motherfucker. If you think I'm doing this for you, slap yourself. If you think I'm doing this for you, slap yourself. I don't give a fuck about you. We don't give a fuck about your opinion. You don't matter over here, nigga. Get your goof ass out of here. We don't get no fuck about you over here on this channel, nigga. Fuck you, nigga. Get your clown ass out of here. You think somebody give a fuck? You thought somebody cared what you said. Get your goof ass out of here. Y'all show him how much we don't give a fuck about you. We'll ignore you for the rest of the show. Let you type whatever you want to type. You a nobody. Nobody gonna feed into you. Oh, where they done put you out of there. What's wrong with dude? You welcome to the channel. Other channels, people may care and tend to your needs and all that shit. We don't give a fuck about the motherfucking the viewers and the people, the views and y'all. We don't give a fuck about y'all. Cause it's a group of us and we can kick it amongst each other. So we don't care about y'all opinions and none of that shit, man. Damn. I couldn't even enjoy my weed fucking with your dumb ass. You damn near blew my motherfucking you did, stupid motherfucker. Thinking about you. What's wrong with him, man? Ooh, yeah. You like to smoke too? What you smoke? Rocks? You smoke rocks? You smoke cocaine, don't you, boy?
But do you believe hip-hop got a gay mafia?
Yes. Do I believe there's people behind the scenes that
Yeah, I'm
are
finna ride
homosexuals
another.
that are pushing buttons? Yes. Yes. And that they want you to be down with their in order to push the button for you? Absolutely. And this is part of it. You just saw one of the gay mafia members.
Ain't nothing wrong
That's
with
who he is. That's who Puffy is. He's one of the members of the mob. He's a mafia member.
They say it's a gay
But
mafia.
He might not be Don Carl. He's not the Godfather.
Who said that?
See?
It was a gay
He's
mafia.
not the Godfather. He's one of the heads of the families. You see?
Who said that it was a gay
Different
mafia
families
in the rap game?
We got
Fat Joe. Fat Joe.
We got.
Hold on, y'all. Who said that it was a gay mafia in the rap industry? Fat Joe. And Fat Joe said that when he was skinny. Ain't that crazy? How you call Fat Joe and you skinny? So they made him get fat again for telling the secret. They changed his life. Let him be skinny. For real, for real. And then he told they secret and then they made him fat again. They wasn't calling him Fat Joe at that time. They was calling him Lil Joe. They was calling him Lil Joe. And ever since then, he ain't been the same. You know what I'm saying? Now they calling him Joe Crack, because that mean when they call him Joe Crack, he getting so little that his pants falling off. And every time you see him, you see the crack of his ass, like a mechanic or a plumber. You know what I'm saying? A crackhead mechanic. So, you know, he ain't Fat Joe no more. We gotta call him something else. Your name, your nickname supposed to stick to what you is and how you is. Your name, that's what it's supposed to be, man. But I remember Fat Joe. We gonna find that video when Fat Joe said that it was a gay hip-hop mafia. And now you have Lord Jamar saying this. I don't even know who the fuck dude is. I ain't never watched this shit. We watching it together, y'all.
What do we have? Death Row over here. We have the different fam. We got fucking Arista Records and LaFace. These are the fucking families in the mafia. You dig? Those record companies are like families.
So him being a part of the gay mafia, right? Where do you think it went wrong?
Well, some say that he got a little too big for his britches. And when he ended up suing that liquor company, De Leon, that's when it all started going downhill from him. That's when, you know, the real rich motherfuckers started showing you who they really are. Showing you that you can do all the shit you was doing, but you really not down with them. You could tell black people that you're a billionaire, but you don't have money like how we got money. We're real multi-billionaires. You know what I mean? And if you think you could with us and try to go against us and not just take whatever we've been giving you all this time, because that Ciroc wasn't his. He was the face of it. They had a branding problem, and he came in and helped their diversity problem, you know? And we with it because we thought that he owned it. We thought he owned it. So that's why we with it. And then when he really wanted to have his own tequila for real, yeah, he saw that they was on some bullshit. They wasn't really taking him seriously. He sent people down there to check on the Apparently, they didn't plant any agave for this guy. But all their other companies, you know, that had white people in them, they had their agave planted. They had their ready to go. But you didn't plant the black guy who's done all this work for you and all this type of shit. You know what I mean? And so he was pissed by that, and rightly so. But they was probably like, man, you just fucking take what we give you, Nick boy, and shut the fuck up. Be happy that we even let you in the fucking game. Be happy that you're even going to have your name, that you're actually going to own this one. Or your name's going to really be on it. And when he got too big and felt like he was going to sue them, they said, let's show this motherfucker who we really are. Send the ATF to his crib. Let's start there. Let's start there. Let's show this motherfucker how much power I got. Send the ATF to his crib. And we'll work on some shit to follow that up. You want to f with me? Okay. Let's go. Let's do this. That's what I think happened.
I think he trying to be
That's
too
what I think
animated.
happened.
Animated.
And then they said, and then he might have said, because he might have threatened them. Like, because when he said, oh yeah? Well, I got pictures of you. I got tapes of you at the parties too. Oh, really? That's probably when the ATF really got sent. Send the ATF to his crib. Get me all them tapes, man. Give me all them tapes, man. Matter of fact, this nigga going down now. Because I don't like how this nigga talking. He's going down. We're going to really show him who's boss. And I'm telling you, that's what I think happened.
If you've ever dreamed of owning an apartment complex and you live near one of these cities, then you've got to see the same ad that I saw.
Telling y'all, boy. Diddy ass out of there. Out of there. They keep telling y'all about this. Y'all think it's baby oil. Y'all study laughing and joking thinking it's baby oil. If it was baby oil, they would have left that shit right there. They would have left that shit right there. But y'all will see when that shit come out. Y'all will see when that shit come out, y'all. I wanna translate over to Chicago before we get back on Diddy and this Dolph shit. I want to show y'all something. I'm really trying to stay the fuck away from Chicago on the blogging. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers is hot. Some of them niggas is hot. Oh, everything. Too hot for motherfucking TV. Man, Diddy ass. How many of y'all think Diddy gonna... do y'all think Diddy commit suicide? How many of y'all think Diddy he would attempt to commit suicide? None of y'all ass. Y'all just be wanting to watch and see and me to shut the fuck up. Because if that's what the fuck you want, you on the wrong goddamn channel. And you motherfuckers need to hit the like button before I start calling out names. Right. So Casey getting her ass beat wasn't enough? Is that enough, Lexi? Casey getting her ass beat? I need to know. Was Casey getting her ass beat enough?
Man, I don't want this shit. This shit like dog food. I'm crazy. They won't even feed this shit to their cat, but you know, I'm ain't missing no photo. My grandma, my box fat. They know I'm shake 150, but you know, I'm shaking 150 when everybody accounting this bitch. I got 150 for you, 150 for you too, or 150 for you. I'm crazy. I ain't talking about this shit.
Yeah, for sure. So man, look, so you know the first interview we did with you, you know, from DuPage County Jail, it did all right. You know what I mean? And they was instantly asking for a part two. I'm like, damn, man, these folks, they it's
DJ you and Butta.
You feel me?
That's starts up.
Man,
I can't never tell what odd numbers didn't hit right, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it's always a hit. So, you know, one thing for sure, the people they ask, they like, man, how's his jaw broken? He talking so fluently.
Man, look, that's first shit, man. Y'all gotta think about having a shot in the face, man. I've been through some shit in my lifetime. Like, this shit is meatball. My mouth's not white as shit, but my shit definitely broke. My shit fractured. I got a slight crack down my shit, man. From my wisdom tooth down to the bottom of my chin. I ended up smashing my face to the steering wheel.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? They there, and this bitch treat them up the wrong with this food, Joe. So that's my shit, though. And a lot of people gotta understand, like, when I talk, I feel like I talk about it now that my shit broke, bro, because I gotta keep my teeth together. You feel me? So it's like I'm just talking like through my big ass gap.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Yeah. So look, man, just want to help the time go by a little better. You know what I'm saying? Because you are our favorite guest here at DJ UTV. If you go back to our very first interview, bro, the entire Beef and Pepsi interview, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
And the very opening seconds, you know, you was talking shit, you know, you had Mozzie with you had the other guy, you know, he never said his name. And you had said something, you know, you said something about your son, you know. You're like, man, we need to have my son. You remember saying that?
You say my son?
Yeah, you was saying your son.
my actual son or my street son. You know, I got like 3 of them. I got like 3. I got three street kids. You know.
You was talking about your out west son.
Oh, you talking about Batman?
Oh yeah. You ain't saying no shit.
That's my child.
You ain't saying that, man. How the fuck your son, shorty? That'll make me a man.
Man, look,
I ain't no fucking money, shorty. I ain't your son.
Shorty, you ain't hitting unless you speaking on me, man. You my child, man. Shorty, nobody paying you unless you got my name in your mouth on too. That's what make you be need me, man. I'm my homie, shorty.
You talking about your job, bro?
You talking about your job, bro? Look. You can't tell him the dig, shorty.
You talk too much. That's why your shit needs to be broke, man.
Oh, stupid. Hey, nobody gonna do
you
nothing.
You ain't finna tell about that, though. You got this the first time you gotta stand tall, shorty.
Shorty, you ducking me, man. I'm so afraid, shorty.
Hey, but this the first time you gotta stand tall, ain't it?
You ducking me, man. Stop playing, man. I stand tall every time I hit this bitch, boy.
Ain't no beefs over there, bro. And you a
do your homework.
And a rat.
Do your homework, man. I'm fourth grade, shorty. Ain't nobody touching me nowhere I go, man. You been ducking me, bro.
What this shit about?
Man. How you want to do this shit? Cause you been fucking dick too long, man. On time, I don't do news.
For real.
Fucking too much, shorty. Every time I look up, you got my name in your mouth. You think you too much thing, man.
Why he a goofy? Well, we just trying to see, you know. Let him talk. Interview him real quick.
You been eating dick too much. Every time I turn around, you got my name in your mouth, shorty.
You said
what? Every time I turn around, you bada. You sound like a female dog, man.
I ain't even know you.
Until you mentioned Duck, shorty.
I ain't know you. When? No, bitch,
you got to school with Fendi Boy, gang.
When?
You got to school with Fendi Boy.
Before that, bro. I ain't even know him. Way before that.
Shorty don't even...
Way before Shorty, man.
I never even knew you before that. I'm my grandma. What you
doing out west? You really was looking for me, or you want on shit?
Oh, I stay out there, man. I stay sitting out west, man.
I'm talking about west. You talking about Fendi Boy shit. That's how I know you lying.
You mentioned that on Spot Break. Look, I never heard of you.
All the way there.
Pull it up. Right,
what you was doing out there? If I knew you, you time speaking on Butter. You was out there looking for me, bro, right? How you look for me and I don't know you?
Who the fuck you? I was crying. I never on Duck Grade, nigga.
Looking for me,
on Confrontation Weekly. I never knew you, never heard of you on Twitter till you mentioned Duck with Fendi Boy. You knew for a fact, so he didn't even know my homie.
Boy, he don't even know Duck. And bitch, you told if Duck was still here, bitch, you wouldn't even be around Duck.
And you be ducking me on my grandma. I've been trying to smack your ass.
We stay saying you crying and shit.
For 4 years on 3 grades. I've been trying to smack your bitch ass for 3 years, man. On Duck, shorty.
What you say?
I've been trying to smack you for like 3-4 years, man.
You said
you been ducking.
Hey, look, on the phone, stop lying. You know what you putting on to the left.
Hey, look, listen. Look,
on my side,
look, gang. I'm finna get ready and come home.
You know what you said?
What we looking at?
You said, man, I'm taking a case for somebody else. Get my life up. Nigga, you building yourself. Hey, shorty, you building yourself up to snitch.
Hey, look, bro. Hey,
I ain't your little bro. You a rock.
I'm getting ready to come home, shorty, on Kyra. What we gonna do? We gonna link up. Let's get that fade, shorty. Let's get that fade, gang. You gonna keep running from me or you gonna let me beat that ass?
Shorty. You in that situation?
You gonna let me fight or what, man?
You know. Stop playing like that.
You in the interview, dirty as hell on Scrap Radio pants. Shorty, you and Lil J Man took that picture. Oh, look where your pockets in your pants was dirty as hell on Duck Grade.
That's what you really mad about, though, cause J Man.
You was that bitch dirty as hell.
That's why you mad.
So don't think I was mad about it. You on that thing. Why are y'all speaking about me 2 interviews in a row? You sucking my dick, man.
Bitch, you came on DJ. You said something about me, whole ass boy.
I ain't never said shit.
I'm gonna keep speaking about you.
You non-important. You're nobody. You're my dead homie, buddy.
You know
you ain't fucking this shit. I don't come when I come home.
Only goofies go to jail in the burbs. You was a goofy, bro. You a goofy. You was in the county, bitch. You would be out.
And I'm gonna beat your ass. I was in the county.
Your ass
come out to the county for what I wanted, man.
You
I ain't never been in PC in the county on 3 grade, nigga. I'm my dead sister, nigga.
Bitch, you can't kick your feet up on the
I ain't never in my life been in PC in the county. Buddy, I'm stupid, nigga. Everybody tell you I'm going through the county with an E.
On the phone, put some noodles on you right now. Front of my already want to beat you.
Do it. I'm stupid. Do it. Do it right now.
Bitch ass nigga.
Do it, gang. Put the noodles up on Kyra. I put 10 on you right now in the world to get you killed. You sit there, DJ, you up right now to get you killed. They talk too much. Hold up. Hey, you asked for the dynamic.
Hold on. It's going
Thank you for using global telling.
Hey, put some money on this nigga phone.
Then he say, your ass finna die now on the recorded call. How dumb could these niggas be, y'all?
I get your motherfucking head stumped like a dude getting beat up. Bitch, you ain't in there tap in. Bitch, you a snitch and everybody know it. They got tablets in there, nigga. They know what the going on, nigga. On my dead brother, nigga. They know you a rat master splinter. Niggas know to stay away from you, man. Cause you talking about let him call back, man. Cause I got a lot of shit to ask him, and he really flies. You know he flies in with me, man. On the phone, you can't even talk like you more stamped than me. You crazy? You ratted? Fuck you gonna rat? You ratted plenty times. I ain't even asked him about the trial. I'm glad he mentioned the duck shit. He lying about that, but I'm glad he mentioned that shit. Cause I want to ask him why he was on that trial and he went out. He went out there with his shit, with his gun. On the phone, he finna call back. I don't know, but I'm finna put some noodles on him. This interview finna go viral on my mama. Dust is out. I'm putting money on it. And shout out
Man,
Mikey
these
Dollars.
niggas
I had
crazy.
to ask them. You let folks put dukes on you and y'all jumped on them. He socked you up. Folks socked you up. Shout out Mikey Dollars, man. On my mama. Everybody go follow Mikey Dollars.
DJU looking like, man,
Stop playing, bro.
they ain't even get the chance to talk.
Come on, bro. Folks socked your ass
Y'all
up.
ain't even get a chance to talk and do an interview, man.
That shit lame.
But he's scared to say it. He's scared to say it.
15 minutes. Cause it's never gonna be like that with me and Shorty.
No, I'm saying the way the phone. I'm talking about the way they ended the call.
Yeah, they ended the call.
Calling Global Tell.
Cause he told them he was gonna kill him.
Shit, but y'all know this shit for content for him. Like I jumped in this world just to, you know.
Cause he said that he was gonna kill him.
Man. You put on niggas, man, on the phone.
Type shit.
Shorty scary as hell. Somebody knocking?
Yeah, they coming to get your ass.
I'll show something. Who is it? Now, on some for real shit, shout out DJU on the phone, cause this shit wouldn't even been possible. I don't want to talk to Shorty, man, and I can't say what I want to say, cause he on jail call and
he
I'm
going
on
to call back, man. He done called somebody else and told them to go up there.
To make him cry. You know what I tell him to make him cry. On phone grade. He's gonna stop fronting like that.
Yeah, DJU look.
Never told
man, I wish you would be quiet, man. Just be quiet for a little while, please.
One paper. The front. Not even front and back.
Just be quiet for 2 minutes. You would do me a favor.
Call back by now. We just gonna assume it's been wrapped up. So. Hold on. Look, spoke too soon. Spoke too soon. That's why you gotta have patience.
Let me talk on the phone, cause I got a lot of shit I gotta say.
You hear the phone ringing, Batman?
I am ringing.
Want me to answer?
Yeah.
Bet.
On the phone, press 5. Rakeem Wilton.
An inmate at the DuPage County Jail.
Noted.
To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up or press 1. To prevent calls from this facility, press 9.
You press it, Batman.
This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Telling.
Okay, Butter, we back. We gonna get some order in the
room.
We gonna get some
Floaty.
We gonna get some order in the room.
Hey man, you know it said they all float.
Man, we on this shit, man. Shut your bitch ass up. Never talk real.
Man, shut your fucking ass up, man. Shut up. You on Tuka, nobody knows you, man. You ain't getting no clicks, man.
You understand, bitch?
I know what, but man.
Okay.
Get your drunk goofy. You gonna die drunk on 4th grade. I know. Stop yelling, man. You wanna be heard. It said they all float. I know, man. Oh, Tuka, so you ain't gotta tell nothing, man.
Okay.
You talking too much, man. You relevant in here. You washed up ass rapper on Jaja. Washed up ass nigga, man. Nobody gonna pick you without your name being next to mine on Jaja, man.
All right. Let's reset the room, Batman. Let's reset the room.
Oh, Tuka, his ass for the die. His ass did too much talking on Dog.
No, man, stop mentioning shit on Dog.
Alright. Nah, your will ass for the die, shorty.
What you
better have a gun, man.
You talking about on Dog, bitch?
Yo, Daddy on Tuka. Yo, Daddy, nigga, don't stop, nigga. Yo, Daddy.
You know that.
Okay, stop. Come
Your
on.
ass for the die, shorty.
You phone, yeah. You
doing too much, man. Stop, watch out, man. Your ass for the die game. Go 4th grade.
All right, hold on, Batman. Come on, guys. Come on. Let's handle the podcast, bro. bro.
Treating your ass.
Batman, we ain't got that much time, gang. We ain't got that much time, bro.
Gotta have a fucking gun.
Hey,
That's all I'm
hey, show me a picture of Master Splinter. Your ass a bitch. I'm teaching my story now.
Right,
hey,
man. You the goof.
You can't even say you ain't
irrelevant ass. You are irrelevant ass goofy. You out west drunk. All you do is sit in front of a nigga stove. You dirty as hell.
You look Jay,
Tuga, you filthy.
That's why you
need this money. Oh, Tuga, shorty. Oh, my brother, shorty. You need my name. You need this money, man. Fuck out. Fuck out. Ready to get into the money. Stop. So, Tuga, I ain't never met it. Oh, Kyrie, I'm like a feminine creature, gang. All you do is mention me. Bada, 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 bada. I keep trying to fucking
on your mouth.
fucking ass off Tuga. Mikey Dollars didn't do shit. Mikey Dollars got that ass, baby. That's what happened on 4th grade. Duke beat that ass. On 14, he ain't fight me. He folks going Duke. Do your homework, goofy, man.
Okay,
You
stop.
doing too much talking, man.
Man, come here. Damn, come on, gang.
Bitch ass ain't finna no.
You ain't stopped.
Your ass for the side, gang.
Yeah, right.
All right, listen.
You hurt, gang. You hurt mentally, physically, and emotionally. This shit hurt you. You know you can't fuck with me.
Ain't nobody scared of this bitch ass nigga. You know how the city
Shut
look
your
at
bitch
you.
ass. Whatever.
The city look at you crazy, and you finna beat up with these fans on the phone. And
Oh,
folks
ain't
that
nobody
beat
gonna
your
touch me
ass.
there. Oh, Duck, ain't nobody touch me in DuPage. Ain't nobody touch me in Cook County. Oh, LeBron, nigga, Brian Martinez, I'll never get touched, nigga. On my sister, nigga.
Whole ass nigga.
Fuck you, I don't scrap around on for the PC, boy. Oh, 3th grade, nigga. I never on my sister, nigga. I moved to Division 11, 9, 10, whatever on my sister. Nobody me in the county. My brother, shorty.
Some bees in your house.
Man.
You
I
had
was
the
in that
big
bitch,
bees.
shorty. I was in that bitch, Dumbo, Alpha, Jumbo. Stop playing,
That's
man.
the real butter with
Stop
the bees.
playing, man.
You told with the bees.
Stop playing, man. Oh, 4th grade, your little ass gonna get spanked, man.
I guess we ain't gonna have no.
Your little ass gonna get spanked. You irrelevant on Tuga. You need this, man. That's why you keep trying to overtalk me. You need this, man.
On the phone, I
sister,
don't, nigga.
nothing you been doing on my sister grade. You ain't get paid. Ain't none of that shit on
put this
Tuga.
on your books.
You bitch.
Hey,
On
you know
my
this shit
brother,
finna
shorty.
go up.
Hey, look, man. My book's straight, man. I was trying to do all I do is sit up and pushing money through this bitch. Okay, Irish, but I ain't got no paper, but things happening.
When they whoop his
I
ass.
did, but I know. Put it on the news. Who whooped my ass, shorty? Show me who whooped my ass, man.
That shit on
Show
your
me, man.
ass, bitch, nigga.
Show me, man. Show me something. Show me something, shorty.
Look at DJ U.
I'm trying to whoop your ass. I've been trying to
Yeah,
beat
he
your ass
can't
since we
even
got
get a
into it.
word in. He can't get a word in.
On 3th grade. Oh, dog.
I don't need to hear you.
They trying to beat the fuck out you. You was a goofy. You a nobody ass nigga. Nobody knows you, man. On my sister, nigga. You was a goofy. Scary ass. You was a bitch. I keep talking. I need you to stay right where you at, gang. Don't leave. Stay right there, gang.
Oh my God, it's my mama.
I know.
Why the
I got
they
you.
moved your box, butter? Why they moved your box and you was at your mama house? They moved your box, bitch, because your mama tired of you dropping them lows, nigga. They moved your box. When you was crying, stop playing.
Move my box. Hey, listen, man. Hey, listen, man. Hey, listen, my boy.
Gotta move your box.
Hey, I had my daughter with me. First and foremost, you get on Cairo, so my mama don't even live with me. Let me tell you something, ass nigga. I went in my mama crib, I was in my own shit with my daughter. She come out, why you ain't come so up there? Why you ain't do nothing if you had the low on Cairo?
They moved
If you had the low, why you didn't do nothing, gang? You know what you fucking talking about, goofy lame ass, you a drunk. On Cairo, you the goofy ass drunk. And you gonna die drunk on scrap brain, nigga. Just, I know.
And I'm tired of it.
I know. And I owe my sister, I'm gonna wipe your ass, gang. My homie, you been ducking me for 3 years. I asked you to fuck. I asked you to fuck. Oh, 3 grade. How many times have I dropped my location to you, you fuck? You out west ass goofy. How many times have I gave you my low? Huh? Oh.
I was gonna walk out with him talking too much, but I hung up on this.
Damn, you hung up on him?
I'm tired of him.
Damn.
I was reading him his rights too much, and he talking too much.
Damn, you hung up.
Yeah, but I could walk out.
What the fuck? Damn.
I was finna get too into like talking about his mama crib and shit. I ain't want it. That's too much, bro. It's real street shit. He know. He couldn't. Why you think he wasn't speaking on the shit I was just asking? Cause it's too much, bro. That's real street shit. He said, yeah, I don't want to talk no rap. He on the police phone, and I'm just finna send myself off. Man, hell no. Him. On the phone, nigga, he know. Hell no.
Man, that escalated quickly.
Do it. On the phone, he know that.
Man, that shit, goddamn it. That shit looked like it was planned, man. You trying to get him to, be quiet, he ain't listening to you. Ain't listening to you at all. Let's see, y'all. This the new one.
How do you feel about people constantly trying to drag Jay-Z into this Diddy situation when I haven't really seen like one piece of evidence that ties him to this at all?
Well, I would say this. It's kind of funny to me, man, is that Diddy used to hate. He hated Jay-Z enough when he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay-Z. This is back in the early 2000s. And one day, Asler, Kushner, Diddy, and myself went to a Nets game, and we met Jay-Z. I've never been a Jay-Z fan, you know, like some of his music, the whole 9 yards. But when we went over to the, I think that was Prudential Center in Newark, and him and Puff met up, it was strange to me. Because I remember what Puff was trying to do. And then both of them, they was talking about something amongst each other, amongst all of us, and laughing and joking with each other. Then over the years, I see them giving garden parties. You understand what I'm saying? You could tell that the people in power had gave that reign to Diddy, and Jay was next in line. So to separate him, when in fact they may be two of the same, but because Jay-Z is low-key, that low-key sneaky shit, and Diddy is, and was, rambunctious, just out with it, it don't mean that they're not two of the same. One just a little quieter with his shit.
What happened at the basketball game? When they ran into, you guys ran into Jay-Z?
They was just talking. They was talking amongst each other about their little white girls. Their little skinny white girls.
And I mean, did Diddy always say negative things about Jay around you?
The time he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay, yeah. He was. They worked it out.
Was there a reason behind it?
I couldn't tell you the reason behind it. It was probably because Big had died. I don't know what it was, man. I don't know why he wanted Ja Rule to go at Jay. He kept them beefing or kept them into some bullshit. He could rise up in between both of them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It definitely was some snake shit.
Well, Meek Mill is also someone who has been tied into this whole Diddy situation. What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming.
Cam Capone coming through with the You Did. Man, Jeannie Deal got a lot of shit to say. A lot of shit, y'all.
Yeah, you might be right. Me looking at it now, yeah, he might do some time. But how you feel about the mayor of New York getting indicted?
Man, it's kind of funny. I caught a little flack about saying something about the mayor.
That nigga goddamn it doing a lot of fucking interviews, y'all. Ain't he doing a lot of interviews? That nigga doing more interviews than me. This nigga doing a lot of fucking interviews, and he telling different stories at each fucking interview, man. Y'all pay attention to this shit.
Man, what you got to realize is that they've been watching the mayor since 2013, 2014. No. 7 years with this. Like 2014, bruh. They've been watching the mayor since 2014. So if they got the mayor under surveillance since 2014 and they running the case up on him, they let him do all that corruption, let him do all that when he was the Brooklyn Borough president. Then they let him go get elected to mayor. This is our government, man. This is the federal government who's supposed to protect us. This is the federal government who's supposed to, make sure that our government is in line. So if you knew the man was doing, if you knew the Brooklyn Borough president was doing corruption while he was a Brooklyn Borough president, why would you allow him to go be the mayor of the largest metropolitan city in the world without giving the information to stop him from being mayor? Now he goes and he's doing the same that they had. They got him for the same dealing with the Turkish government and the whole 9 yards and some other things. Now, we don't even know how Diddy got the key to the city. When in fact, he did a lot of destruction in the city. The 9 kids at City College that died. And speaking about the 9 kids at City College that died, bro. Somebody sent me this 2006 documentary he did. It was called Black and White. Sean Combs and stuff like that. Yo, I was there at City College. I know exactly what happened. I know exactly what went down. Puff got on this documentary and he said that
6 more likes, y'all.
He looked down and there was 9 bodies on the floor, and he tried to give each one of them mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, and he was the only one working. He turned around and looked, everybody was gone, and he was the only one trying to save the 9 people. I like, this man that lost his motherfucking rabbit ass mind. When in fact, when it happened, he ran up out of there as quick as possible. When you look at those films and you look at those tapes, you don't see him down there. And you definitely don't see him like he just said in that tape. Y'all go watch that. He said that he felt the souls of 9 people in his mouth. Because he was trying to resuscitate all 9 of them by himself. Something was wrong with that picture, bro. Something was wrong with that. But to get back to the mayor thing, man, is that if he was a part of that, how did he get the key to the city? That's crazy to me. If he was in incidents and everything around the city that wasn't favorable, how did he get key to the city? So now, yeah, now you got to realize, if they had the mayor under investigation since 2014, Diddy was in investigation around 2011, 9 or 11, something like that. They say he was 9 or 11. One of those people are responsible for the feds looking out after one, or either Diddy responsible, his interaction with the mayor, or the mayor interaction with Diddy may cause the feds to be looking at both of them in some form or fashion. I don't know which one was first. Was it Diddy interaction with the mayor, or the mayor interaction with Diddy? Which one did the Fed have under surveillance first? And I think it was probably Diddy. They probably had him under, it said 2011. So they said the mayor stuff goes back to 2014. So it may have been Diddy. And this interaction with the mayor may have caused them to start back or start looking at the mayor in a certain way. And And it was so many, it was so many reports out there, brother. You got to realize when people are getting awards, they hire an investigative agency to go investigate and find out any dirt, the good stuff and the bad stuff on that person. They try to find out the good stuff and the bad stuff on that person. And you gonna say nobody ever watched The Art of Dialogue? Nobody never watched Tisha Tales? None of them people never watch what's her name? The other young lady in Atlanta, Tasha K. Nobody never watched those programs.
He was around when that shit was happening.
People or somebody not
you don't think he participated and got him a little pussy ass now and then? Hell
They didn't know about Kim Porter, nose being broken, her arm being broken. They didn't know about the little girl Gina being kicked while she was pregnant, punched in the head, and they still give him the key to the city. Get out of here, man. They know about that stuff, bro. I don't know what he had on him or what they was trying to do by giving that dude the key to the city.
All that shit, man.
For people who have done a little bit of homework and know who you are, why should they believe you about what you think and feel about Sean Diddy Combs and any allegations against him, given your history of animosity with him?
Well, first of all, I'm not calling you or nobody else to get nobody to believe anything regarding him. Like I said, I always say, me personally, I don't jump up and down and cheer for no black man going to prison or any other man, any other human being going to prison. Because people think prison is always the answer. I'm not saying a lot of people don't deserve to do their time and see what's going on. But at the same time, that's not no cheerful thing, because when you look at it, that man has kids.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever affects him definitely affects his kids. Mm-hmm. Now, I know there's a lot of victims involved in it, and whatever affects them affects their kids. So it's not a good thing to be talking about any shit about the next person. But it's not a gray area with me. And at the same time, somebody didn't react or see what he got or doing those things or those allegations by himself. He was taught from people before him, and he did it to the younger people after him. And we can talk all day and say what's true, what's not true. Only true part about it is videos, conversations, and people can see what they've done. Mm-hmm. But more being in the crowd and say what do people think. That's the run.
Stop doing that, man.
Just like I heard earlier today when Ray J was talking to TMZ.
Mm-hmm.
I got love for Harvey. I see Charles always got something negative to say when it comes to West Coast people. And Charles tried to make a reference to say that, how do I feel when I'm in prison? I'm in prison. I guarantee you, I'm free more than Charles. If I feel like sleeping at 5 o'clock, I want to sleep 12 hours a day, I can.
Sure.
But besides all that, it's not no competition. Who's going to talk the loudest or talk the best? It's not something positive that can help anybody. I don't get on no platforms that's to be positive. If it ain't positive.
I understand what you're saying. I want you to try to make some positive points here. I get what you're saying about TMZ, but that's not really my interest, as you might imagine. My interest is in what you can help people understand about these allegations that Diddy is facing and what you believe he's facing on the inside. Now, what's most interesting to me is that you seem to see Diddy as kind of an Epstein kind of figure. That Jeffrey Epstein, that a lot of people know what Diddy was about, and they were about the same thing, and that's why they're quiet. That's why J-Lo and Ben Affleck got divorced, because of videos that he has of her that now they know about. Where is this coming from with you? What do you believe about the people around Diddy and what everybody knows?
Well, first of all, you got to start with the top. You starting with the top. Clyde Davis, Russell Simmons, Andre Arrell, Jimmy Iovine. Even if you take Jimmy Iovine, he had an allegation from him, same thing, he went away. You take Jimmy Iovine. They told me at Universal and Interscope, they said, you know what? We can't deal with artists that gets in trouble. And your artist gets in trouble, they talk crazy. They think about what they see. Now, I was told that I can't do business there because of that. Now, Doug Morris gave Puffy the deal for millions of dollars. It flopped. So when you look at all these things and everybody want to say Puffy, 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 don't get me wrong. Yeah, Puffy stepped in this shit, and even if he wiped the shit off his shoe, it still stinks. But he's not the only one. They got all the tapes.
Now, when you talk about the tapes,
but this been going on for a long time.
Hold on, Suge. Help us understand, because a lot of this stuff is a little inside baseball for people, right? Because they don't live the life, they don't know the world, they don't know the players.
Telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
That's just a recording from the prison. That's just saying that they recorded, which obviously they do. Suge, help people understand. What tapes are you talking about? Who has them? And what kinds of things do you think they show?
Well, number one, luckily, I wasn't their first choice, their second choice. I want the choice to be at those freaky parties. But you know what they show. They used to have a thing in the industry, right? And the sad thing about it, I don't like mentioning Usher. I don't like mentioning Justin Bieber. I don't like mentioning all these people that everybody knows what time it is. So at the same time, they used to have a joke. They never played this joke with me. And they used to walk in the Interscope office. They'd go back there and they'd be like, hey, will you pass the test? I said, we haven't did the test. One dude said, well, don't say that in front of Mr. Knight because he's going to take it offensive and hurt somebody. I said, well, whatever it is, I probably will take it offensive or somebody will get their ass whooped. You know, that was me in those days. They used to have these guys, they used to call it the boiled egg test. They could take a boiled egg, a raw boiled egg, they had those guys put their pants down and bend over and they stick it up their ass. The egg break, they say they're not ready yet. They ain't put enough work in. This is Hollywood. So everybody want to go act like they don't know what's going on.
Hold on a second. Sure.
You just look.
Oh my gosh.
I've never heard of anything like that. So if I haven't heard about it, just assume a lot of people haven't heard of it. But you think it's on video?
Let's stop for a second.
Go ahead, Suge.
Gee golly.
Listen, and also, have you ever been to any puppy parties?
No.
You showed it at the long time.
This is the title.
You ever been in those butt naked parties? Even some of the preachers been in those parties, and they wasn't on their knees praying for God. See, they was praying for somebody to have come real quick or something. But I wasn't there, but there's proof of it. But at the same time, everybody want to look around and act like something going on that wasn't right. It's the facts of life in the industry. Not for the people who don't get in. So, everybody, you gotta look at it like this.
Yeah,
You see a beautiful woman.
goddamn
you see a
crazy.
And it was like that all their life. From elementary school to junior high school to high school, they forced to go to college, right? They always knew they had something special about their stuff. But you take some of the Hollywood executives or some artists, they might have been the ugly duckling for a long time before they had the teeth fix, and lips fix, and nose fix, all the work done. Underneath, they still the young with no confidence because they've been that way all their fucking life. So all of a sudden, if you look at Puffy old pictures, don't look nothing like his new pictures. You know, shit, they didn't do everything.
But sure, just because he has plastic surgery, all I'm saying is, I'm not saying that you're wrong about rich people doing stuff to their face or whatever it is, but that's different than the allegations that are coming down on him.
Rich people, I'm talking about the difference.
Stop doing that.
Okay, look at it like this.
No, go get your tablet.
Ain't no whistleblower. Facts is there. But right now, I don't care if it's P.I., I don't care if it's Rick Ross, I don't care if it's Jay, I don't care if it's Snoop, I don't care if it's Game, I don't care if it's Dre. Nobody's stepping up on the fact that you know what's going on.
Nobody's defending him.
You're right. Guys at Interscope.
You're right.
Okay.
Nobody is defending him, but that's why I was interested in hearing your perspective.
Hey,
Go get your tablet.
You got a woman that works for you. It's really incredible.
Go get your tablet.
I thought you were about to implicate her in the investigation. I'm just glad you're
Go
not
get
implicating
the tablet.
her in the investigation, Suge, because I can't take that.
She's not an investigator.
All right,
what I want to do for her is, I want to. Hey, look, hey, I got to do this for her, but I want to turn her on to this clothing line called Girls Monday to Sunday. Girl Monday to Sunday, and I'm definitely gonna look out for it because I buy a lot of shit for a lot of people from that place. But look, what I was basically trying to say is this: I respect your show and respect what you're doing, but most important thing is it's got to be a solution, because this has been going on in the industry for a whole bunch of years, for decades. And at the same time, you know, nobody wants it to be true, and it shouldn't have to be true. But if we don't fix it and do something about it, history will constantly
repeat itself. Now, Suge, you said something early on that I want to get clarification for the audience, Suge. You said early on, you can't just look at Diddy in isolation. You said this was done to him. He learned from others, and it was done to him, and then he did to others. To me, that sounds like what I hear when people are talking about abusive situations, you know, hurt people, that someone was sexually abused, they wind up being a perpetrator. Is that what you're suggesting about Sean Combs, that he was sexually abused and he now sexually abuses?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. I think he deep for what's done to him. And like I said, if you look at Russell Simmons, you know the truth. Andre Rail, you know the truth. Clyde Davis, you know the truth. Jimmy Iovine, you know the truth. So there's not certain things that all of a sudden you got this. The industry is a quick business. It's been like that for a long time. And the casting couch is real, but it's for women and men. But far from all that, I think the most important thing is I feel like they should let Puffy tell his truth. I'm quite sure he's going to expose a lot of people. I'm sure he's going to move forward with it. I don't think it should be a situation like the Epstein thing where they found him hanging from the ceiling and dead before the truth come out.
Do you believe
I think the truth needs to be...
Do you believe that Diddy is in danger in prison? And do you have advice for him based on what you just said?
Well, the first advice I have, I don't ever want to say he's in danger, and neither should he say that. Because once he gets to the point where they feel he's going to be suicidal to himself, harmful to himself, once they put him on suicide watch, you have the right to nothing. No socks, no drawers, no t-shirt, no blanket, no sheets.
Sit back.
You asshole naked in a cell as a crazy
Shut up.
So he definitely don't want to do that.
Hit no wine.
And the other advice I would tell him, you know, maybe he should be on the Jewish diet. Because the kosher meals is way better than the food somebody else is making for you. You think they're going to come hot, they're going to come sealed, and you're going to be going over them. That's very important.
What about people trying to hurt him?
Go to jail. I mean, one of the things is this. I don't care who you are. Prison and jail is a negative environment. Somebody can do something to them and get a name for themselves, they're going to actually do it. Or they can do whatever they feel they got to do to prove themselves. But we also got to learn. We got to learn from our mistakes. Everything don't have to be a mistake. You got to better yourself. But we all know what we sign up for in life. So if I sign up to be a football player, I knew I'm going to get hit and I'm going to hurt some motherfuckers too. So I signed up to be in the music business and the entertainment business. And you fight the right to being a black man, there's certain things you got to look at for the challenges. If they can't take the money from you, they take you from the money by putting you in prison. That's a fact. In Puffy's situation, he should go and get his time out the way. Not no life sentence. If he can get a lesser time, he should jump on it because he had a great run. I'm in prison right now. I had a great run. So I don't go mad. I don't wake up mad. I've been locked up for 10 years, and I ain't had a bad day yet. And it's a lot of things we can do to help each other, and it's never too late for help. God bless us to have a voice. Let's use our voice. I had told Puffy a while back. I told T.D. Jakes a while back. Shit, come on, collect calls. We can politic. Because one thing for certain, one thing for sure, you're just not going to walk away with one scratch on it.
Do you think that Diddy?
He can do so.
Do you think Diddy knows enough that it's a very delicate balance that maybe investigators will want to know these other names and greatly reduce his exposure to criminality to time versus what people would do to keep him quiet?
Number one, I've been knowing him a long time. And we was friends. We're not enemies, but we were friends. He's not a dummy. So he's smart enough to work his magic. On top of that, this man right here, he's been involved with the FBI of his career. It's not like he don't have no moves. So I don't think nobody's just counting him out. I don't think he gonna lay down and just crawl in the corner and die. He's probably going through a lot of shit right now because he's probably going through a lot of withdrawals for the drugs. But the industry got him on drugs. And see, they do these things to take control. They're not doing, there's nothing wrong with being dead. You choose to be dead, that's your preference. But they doing this to people for control. It's a power situation.
Sure.
And they've been having the power of the, yes.
I appreciate your perspective on this.
Come on, man. Niggas just coming out saying anything now, man. Niggas just coming out doing anything now.
All right, here we go. Today we have Roger Bonds again. Diddy security from 2003 through 2012. We've done an interview with you before, but a lot of things have happened since that last interview, so I had to bring you back.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
They just bringing anybody
Sean
now.
Perez did an interview with you last time, but we're going to go into a lot more detail in terms of everything that happened. Because when we did that interview, the Cassie lawsuit hadn't happened, videos weren't released, there were no indictments or whatever else. So there's a lot of holes that we're going to fill in here. So just to kind of give a background, you joined in 2003.
Yeah, 2003.
And before then, you were locked up in Rikers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And shout out to my man Tony Yayo. Remember in our interview, he mentioned that you held him down.
Anybody, they just letting anybody say
that's my man right
anything.
there. Very good guess. Okay, so you get out, and I remember you mentioned this, I think, on the Danza Project, where, you know, these days security's treated a little bit differently. You try to get the guy who's probably law enforcement, maybe a Navy SEAL, or knows how to use weapons and situations. But back then, you know, these guys like Diddy would basically get a street guy who was known that could, de-escalate situations with other street guys. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate.
Okay, and you were that street guy.
Yeah, I was that street guy. Everybody had that. Everybody had the guys around
you
them
had to
that they
get
could
up
move
out of
around
here.
the city without no problems. It wasn't no enforcement back then. It wasn't no cops. It was, yo, if I'm uptown at the Rucker, then we're going to use that as a perfect example.
Sit back.
Had a team at the Rucker. You want to feel comfortable coming up to the Rucker. You want to feel comfortable coming up to Dykeman. And they're not going to respect police like that, but they'll respect, oh, yo, he just came up there with Bond. Oh, okay, cool. So, yeah, that's the way everybody roll, no matter what city you lived in.
Right, because wasn't it right around that time that Wolf got killed?
No, Wolf got killed,
2004?
like 2005.
2005. Okay, a couple years later.
Yeah.
Was Wolf around during this time?
He was around, but he wasn't around. He was in Atlanta back then.
Right.
Because I remember distinctly Wolf told me, he said, be careful. So I came on basically right after Wolf had left.
Aha.
You know what I'm saying? And
one of my friends that just came home from jail doing 10 years, full body. And he was with Puff every day. I was with Noon. And then Uncle Paulie asked him one day, yo, who want me to be with you all the time? He said, that's my man Barnes. Yo, they did the homework and it came back authentic. And he was like, yo, tell him to come through. And that was the lie. Ever since then, I've been there.
Right, and Paulie was officially Diddy's head of security.
Right, Paulie was the head and Wolf was the head.
Right, and I guess Paulie would be with Puffy in New York. Now, I remember I used to see the two of them in New York all the time. Like, he was right there with Diddy.
Right.
But when he would travel out of town, that's when your job would kick in.
That's when mine would kick in, yeah. Every time we got back to New York, I was off. Because we might be out of town for a month, 3 weeks, you know what I'm saying? That's when he had the Sean John building uptown. So I would be off when we got back.
Okay, so you joined in 2003.
Stop whining, boy.
By 2005, an incident happened.
Sit back.
Now, Kim Porter
Stop
had been dating
whining.
Diddy since 1994. They ultimately ended up having 3 kids together. At the time, in 2005, they just had one child together. But they had a very tumultuous relationship. I remember
All that damn
Kim
whining,
did an interview
man.
with Essence, and she said that Diddy would call her 50 or 60 times a day. That, you know, she said, it was like my life was not my own. He was very, very intrusive. And I remember I did an interview with the actor Michael Jai White, who was friends, well, his ex was close friends with Kim Porter, and they'd be around, and he said that these phone calls would constantly come. They'd be hanging out, having drinks, and suddenly Puffy would call. She would have to go to the other room, argue with him, and so forth.
We don't do that, boy.
This was at a time where he was really back and forth, really wanting, I guess, I feel, to get back with her. But it was just chaos surrounding this dude.
With Kim Porter.
Yeah. And we'd all be me, Kim, and my ex at the time. I don't want to mention her name. Get her dragged into here. Like Kim would be on the phone with him a lot.
So there was a situation on a yacht.
Right.
You were there, but you were around.
Right.
So what was that situation over?
I can't tell you what the situation was over. I took them to where the yacht came and picked them up at. And Puff said, I don't need no security because it was just personal friends getting on the yacht. And then I picked them up when the yacht came back. And I seen Kim nose taped up. And it was whispers all around the office of everything that happened because his assistants were there and they was talking about it. He tried to say that she hit a table. But everybody in the office and everybody that was immediate around him knew exactly what happened.
Okay, did you know what the argument was over?
He
Because
broke
there
the
was
bitch nose.
rumors that it was over Shakir Stewart, because she had dated him before, and there was a story at one point, there was a wedding in Italy, L.A. Reid's wedding, and I guess Shakir was dating...
Shakir was there.
Yeah, Shakir was there. He was, at the time, dating Kim Porter, and they said that, you know, Diddy allegedly broke a chair over Shakir's head, left him bleeding there. He had to have stitches. You know, Diddy threatened he was going to kill him, and so forth. You know, Shakir ended up committing suicide, you know, later on in 2008. Do you know about this story with Shakir?
I know about the story with Shakir, but I can't validate the hitting with the chair. I know that he definitely had a situation with him because Shakir ended up, I don't know if he was managing.
Committing suicide, though.
Heading his career, but everywhere Jeezy went, Shakir was there.
Yeah.
So we would bump into him in a couple of times, and Puff would just be like, be on point. You know what I'm saying? Shakir would give me a low look, but never a hard stare. It was like he was scared.
Okay, so there was some sort of tension between the two.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, but the situation happened on the yacht, and Diddy allegedly punched Kim Porter in the nose.
Right.
It ain't nothing.
And her nose
I
was
don't got
broken.
nothing else.
When you
It's
picked them up,
nothing else.
when they were leaving the yacht, how bad a shape was Kim Porter in?
Kim was basically just quiet. You know what I'm saying? You could tell she was sad. It wasn't like somebody was supposed to look when they came off a vacation on a yacht for a couple of weeks and stuff like that. And she had some tape over her nose.
Okay, and there's actually a picture.
Damn.
This picture here was circling around.
Yeah.
Broke the bitch nose.
So that tape over her nose, That was right around
busted the
that same
bitch
time.
nose.
Okay.
That's
She looked like
crazy.
she was mangled, but
Nah, what's that
definitely
word?
something
What's that
happened
word?
to her nose.
Right.
Y'all see CJ being the asshole.
There was stories that Puff had flown in a
Get
plastic
the
surgeon
foof
or something like that.
I'm
You know
dress
anything about
CJ
that?
ass
he
up.
definitely did.
He flew in a plastic
He flew
surgeon.
in a plastic surgeon. Good.
Beat
Puff
him.
will fly in whatever you need to cover yourself up. You know what I'm saying?
No.
He's gonna fly in your doctors so that he can know he's
Stop.
controlling.
Go get up that bed.
Sorry. That if anything was wrong with it, that it wouldn't get leaked out. He was able to control the situation.
Okay, well, like I said, this happened in 2005. You had been with Diddy for 2 years at this point. Leading up to this, had you seen any sort of violent altercations from Diddy?
I seen him get into arguments. I seen one altercation.
Shut your mouth.
It was a young lady, I believe her name was Erica.
Okay.
And that was his girlfriend at the time. I seen them get into one big fight. At this time, I'm basically rather new. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't step into the situation. But the situation also didn't escalate to stomp it out or beating up. It was basically an argument.
I'm gonna put you
turned
out.
into a smack. And then they went upstairs.
So you smacked her in the face?
Yes.
Open hand?
It wasn't closed hand. Yeah, it was
Open hand. Okay, how did she react when she got smacked?
Nah, she was a very timid, and she worked for Sean John. So being that she worked there, it was but so much she could do. And they was together for quite a while.
Now, this was the first situation that you knew about between Kim Porter and Diddy, but it was not the last.
Right. It wasn't the last.
How many fights did you see, physical fights, did you see between Kim Porter and Puff?
I've seen 3.
3?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the first one?
That was the first one.
Name me the other 2.
The other 2 was one time when we went to Kim's house and Puff was banging on the door. The rumors were that she was inside with a guy and he was like, yo, we not leaving.
What's the word?
Until I get in this house. And I was like, yo, it's 12 o'clock at night, Puff. What are we doing? He was like, yo, she's in the house. So around 1:30, 2 o'clock, I looked at him and said, yo, we gonna get locked up sitting outside. Because we was in Toluca Lake.
Yeah.
And he was going around to every window trying to get in and everything else. So the next day, when they got together, they went into the room and I heard some tussling and stuff like that. I didn't actually see what was going on, see what was happening. And then it was another time that I explained earlier that we were at the Beverly Hills Hotel. What type of argument they got into, I don't know. But he said, yo, get out the car, Barnes. And I got out the car. And next thing I knew, I seen the car rumbling, shaking. This, that, and the other. So then I opened up the door and said, yo, we in front of the Beverly Hills Hotel. So then Kim got out the car. She fixed her hair. And she said, yeah, like I said, she said, I want to explain. Put your hands on me again. And you're going to have to explain this scratch that I'm about to put on your face. And Kim knew how to... Kim got to the point where she wasn't going for it. She wasn't having it. She knew that if she at least fought back, that it was a chance that she could leave a mark on him. And if she left a mark on him, he had a lot of explaining to do of what that mark was about. So by her saying that, it would check him and put him back into his place like, yeah, I can't do that to her. You know?
Now, wasn't there a story that Kim had cut the inside of Puffy's arm or there's an artery that was bleeding or something like that?
Yeah, that's on the wrist. But that was when Gene was there. That wasn't when I was there. But the rumors and the scars there. But I never knew what it was from.
So you saw the scar on his wrist. Okay, but this was a Gene Deal story.
Yes.
Got it. And I guess Kim stayed because she knew, eventually, once she had 3, technically 4 kids with Puffy, because the first son was technically adopted by Puff. And if she ever decided to leave, it's like, what, $30,000 a month? She would just basically be making a bunch of money anyways, so she wasn't really tripping, or?
Miss West,
I'm going to tell you a story. It was a time, I used to carry all the money, right, in the Louis Vuitton bag. That was Puff's personal bag, and I would carry it all the time. And it was one time that we was in the LA house, and I guess Puff pulled out the money without remembering that he left condoms inside the bag. So when he's showing his money, I guess the condoms came out. And the next thing I heard was, Bonds, pick up the phone, pick up the phone. So I pick up the PA system. Yo, come to my room, come to my room. And he said, yo, would you tell Kim that you carry the bag and you carry the money all the time? I said, yeah. So would you tell Kim this is your condoms inside it? I said, damn, Puff, I left the condoms in the bag. My fault. I said, I'm sorry, Kim. And she just looked at me with a funny look. You know what I'm saying? And then we went out. I walked out the room, and Kim came about 5 minutes later. And she said, Barnes, both of you motherfuckers gonna go to hell. I said, what you talking about, Kim? So she said, both of y'all gonna go to hell. She said, I know that ain't your motherfucking condoms in that bag. And she distinctly said to me, she said, I go for this shit because I'll allow it. She said, remember, I got 4 of them. And then about 3 minutes later, Puff seen that she was talking to me. He said, yo, what she say? I said, she said she go for this shit because whenever she get tired of it, she wants you to know she got 4 of them. I said, what she mean by that? He said, yeah, she damn sure do got 4. And then that's when I officially knew that Puff had adopted Quincy, because I counted on my fingers. I said, the twins, Christian. I said, oh, he must got legal custody of Quincy. So that's what she meant. She had 4 of them.
That situation happened on the boat. And that same year, Cassie met Diddy.
Yeah.
And she was 19. He was 37. She had just independently dropped the song Me and You with Ryan Leslie. And the song was, I believe it first kind of picked up in Germany and then started to get a little bit of buzz. And by that next year, 2006, Cassie ends up signing a 10-album deal with Bad Boy.
Right.
10 albums. When you kind of say it out loud, it's kind of crazy.
It's Luke, yeah, that's phenomenal. That's crazy.
So Cassie signs a 10-album deal with Bad Boy. She releases her debut album. Me and You was the hit song on there. It debuted number 4 on Billboard.
Right.
And that was, you know, although Cassie had some other songs here and there, that was her big hit song. At this time, Diddy and Cassie weren't dating yet.
Right.
But Cassie was an artist on his label, along with a bunch of other artists. So then that next year, in 2007, Kim Porter was pregnant with Diddy's twin daughters. And then Diddy had a daughter with Sarah Chapman.
Yes.
Who was actually Tupac's ex.
Right.
The Tupac and Diddy connection is really runs so deep, it's a little crazy. And I guess once Kim found out about the other kid, she broke up with Diddy, officially.
Yeah, Kim was upset because Sarah Chapman was also one of her best friends.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so Sarah Chapman was also one of her best friends also. So she was really upset about that. And she said that she drew the line. So Sarah Chapman, child, because I actually guarded the twins when they were in the hospital in Mount Sinai when Kim had the baby. My duty was to sit there to make sure the nurses didn't take pictures and different things like that. And Sarah, they might be so close as maybe a month and a half as far as birthdays is concerned.
Okay.
And she got pregnant right after Sarah Chapman.
Okay, and she flipped out once she found out that Diddy had the baby.
She flipped completely out. Like, the kids wasn't even allowed to see each other.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until years later, I'm gonna say maybe, I want to say maybe like 5 years, 4 years later, where she allowed the child to come over with the other kids, because at first she wasn't having it.
Were you around Sarah Chapman, though?
Yes, I know Sarah.
Okay.
I wasn't around her. I didn't really get around Sarah until she had the baby.
Okay.
And once she had the baby, they went to arbitration court. Me and Puff flew out there, and he went into a tantrum. And Sarah is a very quiet, timid, around the way girl. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't after Puff for the money or anything like that. And that was what really seemed that he liked. And he told me one day, he said, you know, Sarah, it's okay, because I give her like $5,000 a month and she happy. So it wasn't about what he felt she deserved. It was about like, oh, I could just lowball her and she's okay with it.
Was there any drama between him and Sarah?
Just the only time that I seen the drama was when they had the arbitration.
Okay. So, Diddy has like 3 kids in the same year from 2 different women. And right around that time, according to Cassie and her lawsuit, that's when Diddy started to really press up on Cassie.
Right. He started pressing up on her. Her first visit to the house, we was all in Miami. She came with Ryan Leslie. So when she came with Ryan Leslie, this was all business. And it was when she was there for 2 weeks with Ryan Leslie that Diddy started looking at her like, oh, wow. So I knew right from there that it was going to be a problem because he told Slam, Slam was his producer, who brought Cassie into play. Yo, you got to meet this girl. She's such and such and such. She's Ryan, da-da-da. So when he came, he said,
did
okay,
Diddy
next time,
dirty.
have Cassie come by herself. So when I seen Cassie 2 weeks later by herself, I said, oh, God, why did he allow this to happen? Like, I would never allow my girl to come out the Diddy house by herself. And that was all she wrote.
Right, because in the lawsuit, it said, that year, Diddy picked up Cassie from her apartment in Manhattan in a blue luxury vehicle. Cassie was surprised when she got into the car because Diddy was already high. He handed her a pill and told her to take it. When Cassie asked what the pill was, he dismissed her and said that she would like it. She later learned that it was ecstasy, something she had never tried before. And that was the first time that Cassie claims that Diddy got her high.
Okay.
And you said that everyone took ecstasy in that crew.
Right.
That was a regular occurrence.
Right.
Okay. Later that year, right around fall, Cassie claims that Diddy paid a promoter to create a fake flyer for a party that Cassie was supposed to be hosting. And that basically allowed him to make an excuse for Cassie to fly out to Miami without Ryan Leslie.
Okay.
During that trip, Cassie claims that Diddy gave her tons of drugs, kept her high throughout the whole weekend, and that was the first time that they actually had sex.
Okay.
Do you remember that weekend? Were you around?
Yes, I was around.
Okay. Do you know about the fake flyer?
I don't know about the...
Trump or Harris? Harris.
Damn,
I really like that Harris
they
is
get to
cutting
going
taxes.
crazy.
I read about Trump's plan for a
Diddy
national
went
sales
crazy
tax
to
on
get that
groceries,
pussy.
clothes, even medication, and that it would cost families nearly $4,000
He got that
a year.
bitch
I can't
bombed.
afford that.
Smack.
Fake flyer, but I do remember when she came back and they went out to the club a couple of times, and it was a couple of times when they would stay in the studio to 4 or 5 in the morning. I wouldn't be allowed to go to bed until they left the studio. And, being nosy, we all would just stay around and kind of watch and say, yo, how long do you think it's going to be? How long do you think it's going to take before he break the safe? That's that type of conversation. And then we all realized when she didn't stay in her room one night that we said, okay, this is it.
Right, and the two of them started to become serious. He bought her a car. He got her an apartment in Manhattan that was walking distance to his apartment. And she said that when he first showed her the apartment, her parents were there.
Right.
And, they were a little skeptical, but they were proud that their daughter is doing well and she has this nice place and, she has this, this rich boyfriend, and she's doing well financially and pursuing her career. Were you around her parents at all?
Yes.
What was their overall vibe with the situation?
I would say that at first, like you said, they was kind of skeptical. They never really accepted the situation, but they wanted their daughter to be happy. So the father was very quiet. The mother would be around a little bit more. Her brother would be around. And at the beginning of the relationship, it was like a watchful thing. But, Puff has a way of sending them on trips and doing everything else for the family to ease it. So everybody accepted it after, I would say, around a year or two. It was just a regular occurrence.
Okay. And she claimed that Diddy lavished her with designer clothes, jewelry, everything else like that.
Yeah, she didn't want for nothing.
Yeah.
But he did everything. Wasn't nothing allowed to be in her name.
Oh.
Her show money, nothing. Everything was funneled through him.
And he was managing her as well, right?
Yeah, he was doing everything. It was a one-stop shop. If you wanted to book her, because I was booking Diddy at that time for a lot of parties, so people would also come to me for Cassie. So I would have to go to him. And it seemed like $10,000 would be enough for somebody who just only has one single. But he would turn down a lot of the parties, and I started to begin to think he didn't want her to be successful. Because he would be like, no, that's enough, go get 25. He'd like, go get 25, I can't get 25 for her. And I think she started to catch on to those type of things.
2009, she shaves the side of her head. You were there when it happened.
Yes.
Describe that whole situation.
It was basically inside a club, and it was a lady standing up over, and I kept seeing Puff looking up, and I'm saying to myself, what is he looking at? What is he looking at? And then I think he had somebody, one of his assistants, say something to the lady. And then he told Cassie, yo, you gonna get that haircut right there. You gonna get that. And Cassie was just like, okay, Pop. You know what I'm saying? She used to call Puff Pop. And she said, okay, and next thing you know, the next day, if I'm not mistaken, his personal barber, Curtis, was the one that cut her hair for that first time.
Okay, and she wasn't against it, it wasn't forced or anything else like that, right?
I don't know what happened in private, if she was rebuking it or not, but I know that next day she got that haircut.
Well, I remember during that time, it became a trend. You'd go to the mall and see black girls, white girls, all with the side of their head shaved. And, yeah, she became a trendsetter.
It became such a big thing that nobody ever looked at it as controlling. We looked at it as a brilliant marketing move.
Yeah. Okay, well, that same year, Cassie got breast implants.
Yes.
And originally, she got D cups.
Right.
Which, with a girl that small, I mean, I've met Cassie before.
Right.
You know, I didn't know her, but I've ran into her. I've had brief conversations with her. She's a relatively small girl. D cups on a girl that size is a little bit silly.
Right.
But who ultimately she did decide to get the D cups. When she got home, Puffy was upset.
Right, and she had to go back and get C cups.
Okay.
I remember that specifically because she had to wear things where she couldn't pick up stuff. So I used to have to help her out the car and pick up her bags and things like that because she was wrapped up.
Okay, but when he told her go back and get them redone, was she upset?
I didn't know. I didn't know if not because my job was just, she just went back. I didn't have that conversation of whether she was upset.
How long after the first breast job did she go back and get the second?
If I wanna, don't hold me to it. It was so long ago for that, but I would say a couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks later.
Damn.
Okay.
Couple of weeks.
You described her at one point that she was almost like a crash dummy.
Couple of weeks.
You would just have her do stuff. And...
Yeah. I felt that way because she was a child. She was a kid. She was manipulated. And
What's that word?
One of the most powerfulest men inside the business. And
hit the like button, man. Hit that like button.
It would be Diddy. You know what I'm saying? So when we would be around her, he would say, yo, she's going to blow up. She's going to do this. She's going to do that. Yo, I need her to work with this person and that person. So he would put in the work as if he was trying to help her. But if you sat back and watched it, you would say, no, he's trying to control her.
That year, there was an incident in a New York City nightclub where I guess a guy walked up and tried to talk to Cassie.
Right.
And Puffy got upset.
Right.
What happened?
He smacked the guy.
Okay.
And we was outside the club, and then they came rushing him out. And I was like, yo, what happened? He was like, yo, man, he just smacked you. We got to the house. By the time we got to the house, we was there for about a half an hour. And then he got the phone call that the guy would not press charges if he brought him down $30,000. So we went in the safe, got the $30,000, and they went and took it down to the guy. And you never heard nothing else about it.
Well, okay, and that same year, another situation happened with Diddy's personal chef.
Right, Jordan.
Jordan Chiton?
Chiton, yeah. Jordan
Okay,
Chiton.
how long has she been Diddy's chef at that point?
She had been Diddy's chef altogether. I would say Jordan stayed there about 3 years. And this happened around almost on her way out the door. So she had been his chef for about 2 years at that particular time.
Okay, and from what you heard and saw, what happened?
From what I heard specifically from her, you know what I'm saying? He put his hands on her. You know, she said that he was very upset at her because she wouldn't let the cleaners inside the Alpine house. Puff used to live in Alpine, New Jersey. And she was there, and she was looking out for the twins. Even though Kim had nannies, she trusted Jordan just to, like, be her eyes and ears. Like, let me know, make sure that they treating her a certain way, make sure the kids is good. So it was a time that the house was really messy. And they had sent over some from the office. The office controls everything. So they sent over some people to clean the office. She'd never seen it because she was used to Mexican people coming over to clean the house. So when some black people came there, she wasn't sure if she should let them in or not. So she didn't let them in. So then the nanny came over and asked her to make some coffee, and she said she didn't know how to make the coffee. And then she said out of nowhere, Puff just stormed into the kitchen and was complaining about her, talking about her, and got in her face, put his hand on her forehead and started pushing it back. And if you know Jordan, you know that Jordan ain't gonna let a man just put her hands on her. So she said, don't put your hands on me. One thing led to another, and with all his might, he pushed her out, flung her out the door. And she fell on her ass and she fell on her knees. And that was the last time I seen Jordan. And I actually didn't even know. Everybody was talking about it the next day. But I was like, for real? She just quit out of nowhere? So I never really knew why she quit. But with everything that's going on with Cassie, she reached out to me. And she said it's really, really, really bothering her. Like, it brought back all the trauma and everything that she went through with Diddy, who was always screaming at her, yelling at her. And the fact that he put his hands on her, that it was kind of driving her right now.
Yeah, I mean, the story I heard was he threw her out like on Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
You know, the way Jazz would get thrown out the front door, it was like that, I heard.
Yeah, that's exactly what she said.
It's crazy.
Yeah. If you know Puff, when it comes to women and it comes to his workers, that's not
how
the
Jazz
first time.
used to scream.
You know what I'm saying? His exact words to me one time, watch me make her cry.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Watch me make her cry. Not even her Pacific. He had another chef who he had made cry. And I remember, I think her name was Danielle. And she cried, and she told me, she said, I'm going to call my father, Bonds. And she was getting ready to call her father to come talk to Puff. And I said, don't call your pops. I said, get yourself together. He didn't put his hands on her. He just was screaming at her. And I said, just get yourself together and think about it. And she had the day off. You know what I'm saying? She went and got herself together. And then the next day she came back. But she didn't stay for long. You know, it was like she had to get herself together and get a new job, and she left. But he specifically told me, watch me make her cry. He got off on that.
So he liked to hurt women in a way?
I don't know what was wrong with Puff. I think it was his power. He felt like if women bowed down to him, it would show his power.
By 2010, like I said, Diddy already had one apartment for Cassie in New York. He went and got her another apartment in LA, which is about 5 minutes away from his house. You knew about that apartment?
Yes.
Okay. So now she has 2 apartments.
Right.
And she said that, over the, a few years, that Diddy introduced her to a lifestyle of excessive alcohol and substance abuse that required her to procure illicit prescriptions to satisfy his own addictions. She said Diddy would have pills and other drugs in the open like candy, and at first, Cassie was given prescriptions that he had gotten from his doctor in Miami, but eventually he ran out of pills, so he demanded that she would get her own prescriptions in her own name and then give those pills to him. Do you know about this at all?
Yes.
Well, what kind of pills were these?
You had all type. You had opium.
Opiates.
Oh yeah, you had Percocets. That's basically the two that I know about, because I really don't know those type of stuff. But I think everybody went, when we got to Miami, everybody would go to the pharmacy and pick his shit up in their name, you know? Even one time, I believe I went and picked up something in my name one time. You know what I'm saying?
Really? And then you gave it to Diddy?
And I just gave it to Diddy, yeah. You know, but he would do that on the regular. So at that point, I thought it was because he was Diddy and just didn't want to go into CVS. But he had doctors that would just write him a prescription for whatever he wanted.
Do you think that Diddy, at this time, was a junkie?
I know he was a junkie at this time.
How many pills were he taking a day?
I had no idea knowing how many he would take, but he had a bag that he would carry with him every day, and it was up to the assistant or even the security that carried his bag. It was called, he had a name for it. It was called the medicine bag.
The medicine bag.
And in this medicine bag would be everything that he need, all his pills, all the Viagras, all the Sierras, everything was in this medical bag right here. So, you know, sometime I would get it and look at it and think, what the fuck is all these pills for? But he definitely had some doctors in Miami that would write whatever you wanted. And it wouldn't all be in his name. It would be in his assistant's name and anybody else that was around him.
Did you ever take pills yourself?
I actually did.
Okay.
I actually did.
Keep it honest, all right?
You know, no, I'm going to keep it all the way honest. It was times where I was up 24 hours, 48 hours. And when you're around this type of situation, you try it. And I actually did try it. I had, took ecstasy at that time. And I found myself kind of staying up because of this. You know what I'm saying? And I had to get away from that. And I just stopped taking it. I wasn't hooked or nothing like that. I just stopped taking it.
Yeah. According to Cassie's lawsuit, she said over the next decade, multiple times each year, Diddy would violently beat her, leaving bruises on her body. And after every incident, and he basically told one of his assistants to buy her a whole bunch of gifts, and they were delivered to the hotel room to try to pacify her.
Right.
Stories pretty much match up.
Exactly.
So everything I just described
is what I'm saying.
Is what you're saying.
Because it's true.
Okay. Did you actually see her at the London hotel?
Yes.
And
I would go and check on her.
You would go and check on her?
I would go and check on her.
And you described she had a black eye?
Yeah, she had a black eye, and one time that I went, she opened up her shirt. Because I said, yo, Cassie, you okay?
No, my phone
She looked at me like, I looked at her like a daughter at this particular time. But you had to be really careful with Cassie, because if you
I'm not finna keep talking to you. I said
she's
stop.
Alone, she'll tell you one thing. But it was like she was so scared of Diddy that when she got alone with Diddy, she would actually tell him that she was talking to you. So she told me, she opened up her shirt. She only had to open it one button. And she opened up her shirt, and she had purple bruises all over her chest. And she just started crying.
Right. I guess you said that she was worried that it might be more serious, like her ribs were broken.
Right. But he had some doctors go check on her. He didn't want to see her, and he didn't want her around the house because he didn't want to face what he did to her. He didn't want people asking questions about what happened. So she stayed in the London hotel. Then from there, if I'm remembering correctly, she went home for a little while, and then the next time you just seen her back at the house like nothing happened.
Well, the question that a lot of people ask was, if you saw this, and there is no gray area here in terms of what happened. He viciously beat her. She's badly messed up. But you didn't leave your job. You continue to work for him. So in a way, people are almost blaming you for enabling the situation in a way.
Right. I find that kind of funny that people say that, right? Because out of so many security people, out of so many assistants, so many people around, why did Cassie mention my name? And the reason she mentioned my name is because I was the only one that would try to help her in those situations, which in reality at that particular time, I was able to diffuse these situations, or at least to get him to like, damn, Barnes just broke it up. Okay, that gives a person a time to now think about what they're doing. So to me, I felt like me getting in between that was stopping the situation of him maybe even accidentally pushing her on the floor, murdering her, killing her, whatever. But the reason I didn't leave, and I would say it was the same reason she didn't leave. You know, she didn't leave because she was scared of her blackballing him blackballing her.
Yeah.
So she would always come back. She would leave for a week or two, come back. I was in the same situation, just coming home from jail not too long ago, running around the city and the state. So manipulation doesn't just go for women. Manipulation goes for all your staff. So being the powerful man that he was, I knew that if I left him, that there was no other artist that was going to hire me because I was with Diddy, and who was big enough to go against him? What was he going to say about, yo, you don't want Barnes, man? So I stayed longer, but what I did was I started watching situations. I started trying to talk to Cassie about situations, and Cassie would just go back and tell him everything that I said. So it became a time when I was booking Cassie to go on trips where he would no longer let me book her. He would no longer let me be around her alone because he knew that I was talking to her about situations. But the reason that I really didn't actually just get up and leave was because who was going to look after them if I did leave? Nobody else was getting in the middle of it.
Yeah. Did you ever physically get into it with Diddy? Like trying to stop these situations? Did you ever try to grab him and push him off?
I would grab him, and sometimes he'd be like, yo, get off me. I'd be like, I'm not letting you go until you calm down. Calm down. You know what I'm saying? Because I was at that time, I was big at that time. I think I was like 260, 250. So I would be like, yo, just stay, calm down, yo. Look what you're doing. You know, you try to bring a person back to remembering what they're doing. And at that particular time, it would work. Now, what would go on later on, just like you seen in Cassie video, wasn't nobody around them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these things would escalate when it was only them around. Yeah, the initial hit would come when people was around. But once you get into the middle of that and you stop that, he's going to cease it for that particular time. And then when they get alone, that's when it will carry on. So now if I turned around and left, and that's what I tell people all the time, if I turned around and left, and then the next day it escalates, if them other people around there is not there to get in between it, as well as taking care of my family, that's one reason also, who else was going to stop it?
Well, according to her lawsuit, there's another incident that happened in New York after a party with Jay-Z. It was an Escalade. And she said that Diddy started to beat her, kick her, and so forth. He forced her out of the car on Fifth Avenue in New York. She eventually got a cab and got to her apartment in Manhattan, where she basically came home, cried in fear, and she spent 3 days in her apartment. Do you know about this incident?
I know about the incident, but I wasn't there for that night. Because when we went to New York, Paulie would take over.
Right. Paulie was the New York guy.
Right.
You're an out-of-town guy.
Yeah.
Got it. But you did see a fight when you guys were in a Cadillac at one point.
Yes.
And you guys were driving.
Yes.
Describe what happened.
Her and Puff was fighting, and I broke it up again. And I put Puff in the front seat, and I put Cassie in the back seat. And he was just sitting there, and I was like, yo, y'all can't be acting up like this, man. And then Cassie had punched him in the face, rightfully. She punched him in the face, and they started fighting, and I had the window open. And people started pulling up. Oh, shit, that's Diddy and Cassie in there fighting, and I'm trying to roll the window up at the same time. So, in my mind, I was happy because I actually seen her fight back. In my mind, I was happy. And then when we got to the house, I pulled both of them out. And at this time, I was able to grab Puff. And I was able to start walking him up the hill. We lived in Beverly Hills. So I started walking him up the hill. And then Cassie ran behind me and she kicked him. You know what I'm saying? When he went to chase her, I grabbed him again. And I was able to stop it. So these are the things that people don't talk about. So I was able to stop it at that time, and then later on they went in the house. It was almost like they would stay in the room for 2-3 days at a time, doing nothing but getting high. And then when they came out the room, it was like a different person. Cassie would be like a whole different type of person. She was very quiet. She started really not talking. And that's when I started realizing, like, she's at the point where she's just terrified.
Well, when she punched Diddy in the face in the car, I guess she had a ring on?
Yeah, she had a ring on. She had a monkey ring on. And the reason I remember this monkey ring on is because Uncle Paulie had left this same ring in L.A. one time. And he said, yo, Bonds, when you get to the house in L.A., yo, I left Cassie's ring. So I said, okay, I'll get it. So I got the ring and I put it in a tissue. And you know how you just empty your pockets out one day? I emptied my pockets out and I threw the ring away. And this ring was a $10,000 ring. So I just threw it away. So when I went back to Ralph's to look in the parking lot, it wasn't there. So I went to, I forgot the jeweler name. My famous jeweler on Fifth Avenue. This is Loren, something Loren. And I went to her. She knew who I was. And she gave me the same ring again on a payment plan. And I said, yo, I can't go back and tell them I lost this ring. And she said, okay, I'm going to give you the ring, Bonds, but you got to pay me $1,000 every month. And I said, okay. And lo and behold, it was a see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil ring.
The three monkeys.
The three monkeys.
Yeah.
But this was a see no evil. So the ring that she gave me was a hear no evil. Everything else was the same. And once again, when Cassie got in the room alone with Puff, for some reason she was afraid, and the next thing I heard was, Bonds, pick up the phone, pick up the phone. And I picked up the phone, and he said, yo, what happened? You lost the ring? You lost Cassie's ring? And I said, yeah, I lost the ring. He said, why you ain't tell me? I said, why should I tell you? I said, you always arguing with people about not handling things themselves. So I went down to the jeweler, I took responsibility, and I got another ring. He said, yeah, but that's not exactly the ring. You had to really look at it and see that it was different. And he left it at that. But that was just one of the reasons why I couldn't really talk to Cassie and couldn't really help Cassie, because when she was on drugs, she would tell him everything.
So it's almost like two crackheads that are always fighting each other in a way. Just high off drugs and just beating each other up. Just you see in the street almost.
Shut up.
Yes.
Because they're all high on drugs as all this is happening.
Yeah, they all the time. And then they would get the IVs in the morning and have the people come shoot them up with nutrients and things like that. And then the next thing would again. They wouldn't do these type of things in the house most of the time. It was like we had houses he had houses in LA, but he would say, yo, this Friday, me and Cassie going to a hotel. And they would go from Friday to Monday. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever they was doing, they didn't want people that lived in the house with him. Like, I lived in the house. One of his assistants lived in the house. The stuff that they was doing and the people that was coming to see him, they didn't want nobody else to see.
Well, there was an incident where you saw Puffy punch her in the face.
Yeah.
What happened there?
He punched her in the face, and it was almost like she was a little kid. Like she was embarrassed that it happened. And I looked at him, and when he know he does something wrong, Puff himself is like a little kid when he knows he does something wrong. You know, he has a look on his face, and then you know not to ask him about it. So I never asked him about it, what it was for, what was going on. It was times where if she talked to a guy too long, he would get upset, and then the next thing you know, they was fighting. But around me, he started to become conscious of what he was doing because I would always break it up.
Well, you said that they had an abusive relationship that went both ways. Like you said, in the car, she punched him in the face with a ring on that, I guess, cut him.
No, I didn't cut him.
I didn't cut him, but he left an impression,
right?
You know, on his face. And both of them were hit each other, but him more than her.
Nah, I'm not. I'm gonna say when I say hit each other, I'm gonna say it's 1 or 2 incidents she hit back. But let's be real, Bernard. I've had fights with my wife. You know what I'm saying? And she can hit me. It's nothing compared to if I was to hit her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when I say they have an abusive relationship, I say sometimes she did fight back. But when I say fight back, this is after years.
Yeah.
This wasn't like the beginning, because at the beginning
You know
she
what
would
the
just
hell you
ball up
doing?
and crawl up. And to see him hit her would be like, you mad about something else. Like what are you really mad about? You know what I'm saying? And it became a point where, like, even everything that they talk about, like, you wouldn't know that all of this was going on because the immediate crew thought that was wifey. Like, she was off, you know, nobody could say nothing to Cassie. So it was like, I love her. And it was time to me and him talk. And he would say, yo, Barnes, I don't know what to do. I said, what you mean you don't know what to do? It's coming a time where I'm going to have to make a decision between Kim and Cassie. You know what I'm saying? You know, Shorty want to get married. You know what I'm saying? And I remember one specific time, he asked me that. We was in the Hamptons, and I gave him an answer. And I said, even though you love Cassie, I said, you know, Kim is your ride or die. She got the kids. And what I didn't know was, and he didn't know, is that he butt down Cassie. And the next week, Cassie came and told me, she said, Barnes, I heard you. I said, you heard what? She said, I heard you tell Puff to take Kim over me. And I was like, she said, nah, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. And we never spoke about it again, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, from people I talked to that were close to Puff, they all told me that Puff refused to get married because he loved his money too much. And he couldn't comprehend potentially getting a divorce and splitting some of his money.
He told me that out of his own mouth. He said, I'm not giving nobody 50% of what I got.
Yeah. I've talked to that were around Cassie during this time, Cassie really wanted to marry Puffy. And I remember a private conversation I had with someone, you know, executive that everybody knows. They were, you know, basically hanging out one day, and he said the whole time, the whole ride back was, hey, can you convince your friend Puffy to marry me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to get married. I'm tired of just being his girlfriend. You know, can you talk to him, convince him to get married? She wanted to marry him, but he never wanted to marry her.
I agree.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know, and, you know, during these abusive situations, you would sometimes take Cassie to the hospital.
Yes.
To the Beverly Hills Hospital, and you would go the back door.
The back entrance, yes.
Okay. And
it's been times that I took her there, and it's been times I took Diddy there.
Oh.
Where I don't know if it's called the overdose. I don't know whatever you call it underneath them circumstances. But it was times that I had to take him through the back door for there also.
Okay, and the hospital basically just asked no questions?
No questions. It was like it was already taken care of through his staff.
Wow. Okay, and during this time, and you had kind of hinted at this before, Puffy asked what Cassie called her father and her grandfather, and that was Pop Pop?
Pop Pop, yes.
And he had her call him that.
Right. She would say it over the PA system and everything else. Pop Pop. And he got off on that. And I believe one time he was on the phone with the father and said, this is my daughter now. She called me Pop Pop. She called me Dad.
That's always been weird to me, man. You know, when girls call me daddy in bed, I've always been stop them. I'm like, nah, I don't like that. That sounds almost like incest. Like, I just don't like it. But I guess he got off on it.
I guess so.
I guess so. And, you know, he would send Cassie's parents on vacations and give them money and everything else like that to try to placate the situation.
Yes. Yes.
They would take it.
Yeah, they would take it. They would take it, and her brother came and I think he gave her brother a job working with her. You know what I'm saying? He would do all the things to calm it down, to satisfy, especially after they had a big blow up or a big fight. And he felt like the mother and father knew about it.
In 2010, a situation happened involving Suge Knight, and this was in the lawsuit as well. She said on one occasion when Diddy and Cassie were at home doing drugs, one of the security barged in and announced that Suge Knight was spotted at Mel's drive-in diner in LA. She said Diddy got dressed, retrieved multiple guns from the safe, and ran out to where, you know, Suge Knight was. Cassie said she was terrified and began to cry, you know, as he grabbed all these guns and this whole situation occurred. Now, you were actually involved in this.
No, I wasn't actually involved in this. I was at the house.
Okay. So, how were you involved in this situation?
In this situation right here, I was Diddy security at that particular time.
Were you the security that barged in to tell him?
No, at that particular time, I believe it was D-Rock.
Okay.
So what happened was, because I came in, my flight was 6 a.m. that same morning. So when I came in at 6 a.m. in the morning, when I got into the house, Diddy ran up on me. Yeah, nigga, you heard what happened last night, right? I said, what happened last night? He said, man, we was about to give it to Suge. I said, what happened? So he said, at nighttime, Diddy would ask for burgers in the middle of the night. You know what I'm saying? So at 3, 4 in the morning, he had an assistant named David, who was the assistant, and D-Rock was the security. Suge knows D-Rock from Biggie days.
Yeah, that's Biggie's man.
Right.
Yeah.
So they pulled into Mel's Diner, and Suge and them pulled into Mel's Diner at the same time. So when D-Rock opened up his door, Suge opened up his door, and they was facing each other. And Suge looked at him and said, what the fuck you doing out here? And D-Rock said, I'm working. What you think I'm doing out here? Meanwhile, to the side, and he called Puff and said, yo, Deep and them got a problem. He said, what's the problem? He said, Suge and them is here at the Mel's Diner. So Mel's Diner is about 5 minutes straight down in Beverly Hills from the house. So Puff gathers up the things that he got to gather up, and he pulls up. He comes in the black Cadillac, and he told D-Rock, this is what D-Rock told me exactly. He said, man, we couldn't let nothing happen to Puff. He said, yo, we ran into Suge last night. He said, after me and Suge had a couple of words, he said, a couple of dudes pulled up in cars. And he said, Suge grabbed the little dude by his arm and was whispering to him, and the dude was looking back. But he stayed in the light so that couldn't nothing happen. And Puff pulled up in the Cadillac truck. And when he pulled up in the Cadillac truck, they got in the truck. And he was like, yo, let's end this shit right now.
Wait, Suge and Puff got in the truck together?
No. Diddy pulled up in the Cadillac truck. And D-Rock got inside the truck.
Got it.
And Puff said, yo, let's end this shit right now. I think it was D-Rock, and if I'm not mistaken, it was Rube. And he said, yo, let's end this shit right now. And they was like, yo, you can't end this shit right now. What we gonna do without you? Let's just go home. You know what I'm saying? And then some girls pulled up to the truck because they still didn't know who that was in the Cadillac truck. So some girls pulled up in a convertible Bentley next to the truck trying to get them to open the window. And Rube told him, like, don't open that window. He said, they just trying to see who's in this truck. But it was Puff inside the truck. And then they went back to the house.
There was another situation with Suge at the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Yeah, I was there.
Telling everything.
I was sitting outside the hotel, as we do. One of us would sit outside the hotel. One of us would go inside the hotel. Puff did all his meetings at the Beverly Hills Hotel. And I seen Suge pull up. So I hit my man on the mic and said, yo, big boy getting ready to walk into the hotel. He frequented the Beverly Hills Hotel also. You know what I'm saying? So he said, okay. He said, where he at? I said, he coming in the door. So Puff seen him, and Puff said, yo. So I came in right behind him after that, and Puff said, yo, I got this. He said, let me talk to him. So after he introduced everybody, he said, I got this. And that's when he talked to Suge and said, yo, what's the problem? Like, why we still going back and forth about this? And Suge said, nah, we ain't got no problem. This, that. He said, I just heard an interview the other day where you said this, that, and the other. He said, but listen here, man. He said, look at me when I'm talking to you. He said, yo, we here. And he did his fingers like this. He said, regardless of what you say later on, I know and you know that we faced each other right here. And that we don't have no power. He said, nah, that was 20 years ago, Puff. I'm trying to get everything together. So then he said, I'm trying to help the youth with football, this, that, and that, but what's your number so I can talk to you? And he said, nah, I'm going to give you the office number, and then you call the office and you let me know what you need and what's the situation, and then I'll think about it. And then she'll walk away.
Right. And you actually knew Eric Von Zip.
Yeah, Zip was a good friend.
Yeah. Eric Von Zip was close to Puffy because Zip was also close to Puffy's dad at one point.
Right.
Zip was also close to Keefe D.
Right.
And according to Keefe D, in my interview, and TK Kirkland, this is a very hazy story, but allegedly, according to Keefe, during the whole beef with Death Row, you know, they had a meeting at a Greenblatt's Deli on Sunset, and Diddy was real upset over all the problems he was having, and he was like, yo, I'm gonna give $1 million to someone who just get rid of these guys. You know, whether it was a real hit or whatever, or just a guy being frustrated and just, you know, airing out his frustrations. He allegedly said that after Tupac got killed in Vegas. Keefe said in our interview that Puffy called him and said, was that us? And allegedly, there was supposed to be $1 million payment that went from Diddy that was supposed to go to Keefe D. Eric Von Zip, who allegedly provided the gun for Keefe and Orlando that night, was the go-between. He allegedly took the money and basically ripped everyone off and started a club called Von Zips. And I remember when I talked to TK Kirkland, who was very close to Zip, he said, yeah, I think that's probably what happened. Did you hear anything to this regard?
Well, hearing things too, I knew Zip very well, but I knew Zip because we both from Harlem. And I knew him from my street days of being in Harlem. When I first got with Puff, I wasn't really seeing him that much. And then I started seeing him coming around a lot. Now, I do know Zip from those days. He was in Cali a lot. He was in Cali. That was like his second home. Because at that particular time, it was a drug called dust that you had to get, angel dust that you had to get from Cali. So he had a lot of connections with the people out in Cali. And as far as him paying money, I heard that stuff through the grapevine. I heard he ran off. I heard that that's how he opened up Von Zips, which is the old Jimmy's. They called it Zip Code. That was the name of it on 131st.
Yeah.
I heard the same rumors that you heard. And I heard them a little bit more because I'm in the mix. Whether they was true or not, I can't tell you if it was true.
Right, and Eric Von Zip passes away from cancer in 2012, so we'll never really know.
Exactly. Which is a lucky thing for some people.
Yeah, especially Puffy. Yeah.
Especially, yeah.
2011, they're still trying to push Cassie. And she had a few singles here and there. Some of them did a little something, but not like her first song. So then Diddy puts her in the studio with Kid Cudi. What happens next?
At this particular time, I had left and I was still doing security off and on, and I was taking Cassie to her shows and stuff like that. But from what I'm hearing is that she was having an affair with Kid Cudi.
Okay, so she was in the studio with Kid Cudi, and they started to actually get romantically involved. Now, from what I understand, Cassie had a phone that she would just leave around sometimes, and Diddy went through her phone.
Yes.
What happens next?
When he went through the phone, he called the number, and Kid Cudi picked up. And he was like, what? Yo, I don't know exactly what he said. I know that he went over to his house. And Kid Cudi wasn't there.
Huh.
And he went over to the house. I know at that particular time, after that happened, Cassie wouldn't come around. And then all of a sudden, Cassie came around, And Diddy was upset, and he was upset with a young lady called Capricorn. So Capricorn was his personal assistant. She was the KK. If you ever hear people talk about his assistant now called KK. She was his ride or die. She rode around with him everywhere. And he really got upset with her because she had to know about Kid Cudi because she never went to the studio by herself. She always went with Cassie. And he put hands on Capricorn because of that situation. And Capricorn ended up leaving and suing him for it. And he paid Capricorn $450,000 to keep her mouth shut. And to this day, Capricorn has spoken about it. I even heard Suge Knight speak about it on his podcast because Capricorn was also Suge Knight's baby mother, one of her best friends. So she knew everything that was going on. So I guess his baby mother must have spoke to Suge about it because he had beat He put hands on Capricorn about that, and he put hands on Cassie about that.
Well, this situation with Kid Cudi was mentioned in the lawsuit as well.
Stop.
So
what are you doing?
She said that Diddy found her phone or found emails between her and Kid Cudi. Diddy became enraged, proceeded to place a manual corkscrew between his fingers and lunged at Cassie. Cassie ran away to stay at Kid Cudi's home to escape. Soon afterwards, one of Diddy's staff members told Cassie that he just needed to talk to Combs, even though he was angry. Feeling like she couldn't escape, she returned back to Diddy. Diddy hit her several times and kicked her in the back as she tried to run out the door. She went to her parents' home in Connecticut, where her mother took pictures of the bruises that Diddy had left on her. Then in February 2012, during Paris Fashion Week, Diddy told her that he was going to blow up Kid Cudi's car, and he wanted to make sure that Cudi was home with his friends when it happened. And around that time, Kid Cudi's car exploded in the driveway.
Yeah,
Do you know about this car blowing up?
I heard about that. I definitely heard about that. And I found it the car actually did get blown up. So I would say that was accurate. I would say that.
Yeah, and I guess after that, Cudi didn't want anything to do with Cassie because this was like, okay, this was more than I bargained for.
Yeah, he definitely didn't have nothing to do with her anymore after that.
How do you blow up someone's car?
That's a good question.
I mean,
especially how do you tell somebody you're going to blow up their car and then it blows up?
Yeah, you'd have to send someone to under their car. I mean, even having a bomb already makes you a terrorist.
Well, they got so many different things that you can make now, cocktails and all type of other stuff. But yeah, I heard about that.
I guess. And at that point, you were essentially gone. You were kind of phasing out.
After that situation is when I left.
Right, and you went to go work for Ciroc.
And I went to work for Ciroc, yes.
Now working at Ciroc, your pay was lowered.
My pay was lowered. It was something that Diddy told me when he asked me if I wanted to leave. See, a lot of people get the misconception that I got fired. No, I went to Diddy, and through the grapevine, I was trying to figure out ways to get away from him because it was just too much. The drugs was too much. The fighting was too much. It was like I was a babysitter. I'm getting between him and his girlfriends fighting, him and Cassie fighting. So I had to figure out a way to keep my job and still be able to leave. So that's when I was diagnosed with diabetes. And I went and told Puff, yo, I heard you got an ambassador job open at Ciroc. He said, how you heard that? I said, come on, I've been here for 10 years. I said, people talk to me. And then he said, all right, just give me some time. About a week later, he said, okay, I'm going to let you go over there. He said, but you know you ain't making the same money over there that you're going to make with me because I don't have no control of it. Even though he did have control of it, I think he thought that was something that was going to sway me. But I had already made up my mind, like enough is enough, because it was getting to the point where we going to hurt each other. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to keep letting you do this. I'm not going to keep letting you talk to people, more or less talk to me. Because Puff talks shit. And coming from where I come from, sometimes him talking shit to me, I had to catch myself. And it was one time where he said I had lied to him. And I said, who the fuck is you for me to lie to? And Uncle Paulie came over to me and was like, yo. And I caught myself. And that's when I said, you know what? It's time for me to get out of here.
Well, one of the things that was mentioned in the lawsuit was the freak-offs.
Yes.
So, in the lawsuit, Cassie said, while in New York, Diddy told her that he wanted to engage in a fantasy of his called voyeurism. He said it would turn him on if he saw Cassie with another dick. So, he allegedly forced her to engage in sex acts with male sex workers while he would masturbate and film it. First time, he hired a man, brought him to his home in Los Angeles. Everyone was wearing masquerade masks.
Fuck all that. There's other channels.
And everyone took drugs. He would instruct her to perform
Shit ain't
sex
getting
acts
old
with
to
the man
me.
while he watched.
Matter of fact, it's getting brand new.
And, have the man do specific acts. This would last for multiple days. He would call them freak-offs or FOs.
This is what y'all need to know,
He
man.
wanted this thing all the time. And eventually, he would have her
You need to know about this shit.
these male sex workers herself.
You want to keep on hearing about FBG Butta and all that.
At all types of hotels.
I'm tired of that Chicago shit. You tired of Diddy, I'm tired of Chicago shit.
They were at the Intercontinental in New York, where there was like tens of thousands of dollars of damages in the hotel after one of these. She said
You tired of Diddy, I'm tired of Chicago.
Tony Fletcher?
Yes, I was.
So what we gonna do?
Tony Fletcher was the accountant. She's also the one that came to me where Diddy had a thing where it didn't matter if you worked 20 hours a day.
What we gonna do? He say the Diddy shit getting old. Damn, I did just let that shit play though for about a good 20, 30 minutes. It's all good. It's all good. Oh yeah, man, this is what I wanted to show y'all. Yeah, definitely tired of Chicago stuff.
.30, Look Alive, Memphis rapper finds himself in trouble with the law again. Thanks for being with us. I'm Shay Arthur. April is on assignment.
I'm Alex Coleman. WREG's Jessica Knox was in the courtroom for Block Boy JB's first appearance.
Memphis rapper James Baker, better known as Block Boy JB, appeared in court early Wednesday morning on several charges after being arrested Tuesday.
You're charged with misdemeanors of obstructing a highway or passageway, possession of a controlled substance, driving while license suspended, and a Class E felony of convicted felon in possession of a handgun.
The 28-year-old rapper is charged after the Tennessee Highway Patrol allegedly caught him asleep behind the wheel at a traffic light on North Germantown Parkway and Chickering Lane. The TA
Y'all don't mind me, man. Phone get the ring and all that shit. Y'all gotta know exactly how the fuck it is. When I pause the video, oh fucking way.
sit through 2 full traffic cycles Tuesday morning. When the trooper walked up to the car, he says he found Block Boy JP asleep with the vehicle in drive. There was a loaded gun and 12 grams of marijuana within reach of the rapper. Baker is known for his songs Shoot, Rover, and Look Alive. He has more than 2 million followers on Instagram, but that did not stop Judge Christian Johnson from upholding the law.
Your bond set at $7,500. Are you going to be able to make your bond? Are you going to be able to hire an attorney? He's already hired? Who's that? Okay.
Reporting for your news leader in downtown Memphis, I'm Jessica Knox, WREG News, Channel 3.
That's one story, goddamn it. There's a lot of shit going on out here. with this entertainment shit other than Chicago. I'm tired of these motherfuckers dumb in Chicago. The sun don't shine. Yeah, dumb. Dumb dumb, you heard my son say it. Dumb dumb. Y'all heard my son say the shit. Dumb dumb. There you go right here. Show y'all what I was talking about.
Fat Joe reveals he lost 200 pounds.
Lean back. Lean back. Come on.
He breaks it down for Men's Health, sharing what led to the weight loss milestone, which comes after Fat Joe, at his heaviest, weighed 470 pounds.
I like to celebrate.
The rapper explains his journey started after losing multiple friends to heart attacks. At one funeral, he recalls telling himself, "You gotta lose weight, otherwise you out of here." As for his grief at the time, "I can't sit there and dwell. Gotta push forward."
I'm a people person, man. I love everybody. I'm just happy to be here.
Meanwhile, Fat Joe is also battling depression. Pointing to this scene in The Matrix Resurrections as what he felt like at his lowest.
Why do you think it's a list of celebrities involved with? Cause they was all partying with him doing this shit, nigga.
Back in the real world, Fat Joe believes finding a healthy...
Yeah, I told y'all that nigga ain't fat no more, man. Fat Joe ain't fat no more. I told y'all. Even so, I had to show y'all. Yeah.
Man, they say Fat Joe done lost so much weight, he can't even leave that no more. He out here looking like Pitbull or something. On camera.
For real. So, y'all be the judge.
I gotta ask this question.
Hey everybody, welcome back to No Jump.
See what else on this motherfucker. Probably might be time to retire. Jaguar White, she getting a lot of fucking interviews, y'all. They going crazy. They said Lil Wayne, slept with Diddy. They said Lil Wayne slept with Diddy. Turn that down, boy.
Put the 1990 Patrick Ewing against Joker and Embiid.
They got 100,000 on young Dolph head to get him killed, to get him out the way. We all seen two people collect on that. They was already found guilty, charged with his murder. They been convicted. Now come find out it was way more money. You got 100,000 on his head. Key Glock got 50,000 on his head. Moochie Grape got some money on his head. Snoopy Benz got some money on his head. Pre-Woo got some money on his head. Man, they had 50,000, 100,000, 20,000. You got 10,000. Hey, I seen 5,000, 50 cents, a 3-5 in a Black and Mile. I said, damn, they put money on everybody's head. Hit the like button. We finna talk about this. This is crazy. Gold on this video, 1,000 likes. You know, now that these guys done got convicted, we done seen more information about the money that Yo Gotti brother done shelled out or was gonna shell out. A lot of people say he was spending them, sending people off. You go ahead and do that hit and kill somebody, blah, 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 blah. He not going to pay you. He going to get your ass $500 and say, I got you later. That's what he did to them guys who killed Young Dolph, you know. Promised them 100,000, promised them 40,000. He ended up with $800. Yeah, that's wild, you know. You know, more information is coming out. Documents and stuff is leaking, showing that it was money on a lot of people's head. Key Glock had 50K on him. It was somebody had a small amount of $5,000 on him. His life wasn't worth nothing but $5,000, $100 bills to get him killed. That's how much your life worth to these people out here on these streets. I said, damn, that's crazy. You feel me? Your life worth no more than getting a transmission fixed on a nice car. Say, damn, that's wow. Key Glock had 50,000 on him. That's a big amount. You know, his life was threatened. There was money on his head. It's people don't know. It have been several attempts on Key Glock life, and he ain't really came out about it. But you know, people that tell you this guy has been dodging bullets for a while, and you know, come to find out, the guy had 50,000 on his head. You know, and people tried to collect on Young Dolph a long time ago, but he survived with them 100 shots. He was in bulletproof whip. But like I say, more information is coming out. Documents is leaking. These boys had money. It was almost up to about maybe $200,000 altogether for all those guys to be wiped out. You know, it was money everybody had according to Big Jook. You know what I mean? According to information that pointed towards Big Jook. Big Jook had a bag on everybody dead. He wanted everybody dead. That's crazy. When you think about this, if they would have succeeded, everybody they got free in their name, every last one of them supposed to be dead and murdered. Wicked out here. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tell Me Truth.
Truth teller, truth teller. That's how y'all know it's getting dead on this motherfucker.
Sources close to the family of rapper Yo Gotti confirmed the man killed outside a Hickory Hill event center is Gotti's brother. Memphis police identified him as 47-year-old Anthony Mims, also known as Big Jook.
Outside right now from the city. Not from Memphis. We ain't got no people in Memphis.
I'm worried. We not worried. All that shit's out. When y'all used to fuck them on up, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this is the time. I ain't fucking up. That's what I want to do, man. I don't find no beside two real niggas. Two real niggas with a in the middle, man. Y'all don't do that, man. Don't find niggas. So, right here, y'all. Two guys.
Going live, Jook. Going live.
What's up, man? CMG in the building, man. Hey, yeah, we going live. What's up? Holla at me. Who fuck with you, man? Show me some love, man. Hey, man, I'm with my homeboy, the real Memphis.
Hey, yo, squad, what's the drill? Back at y'all with another video, man. You know, last weekend, Memphis showed us once again that bad blood don't die in the streets. And this time, the one who ended up paying the price was none other than the notorious Big Jook, big brother to Memphis rapper Yo Gotti. Upon leaving his uncle's farewell service at a restaurant and event center in Memphis, Big Jook would meet his own untimely end. After being on the receiving end of 10 bullets, your boy was taken to St. Francis Hospital where he was unfortunately deceased. Right then and there. In the chaos that followed the hit, word on the street was that the murder was carried out as payback for Big Jook's alleged involvement in 2021 hit of Young Dolph. After Dolph's hit, Big Jook had gone live to diss him in front of hundreds of people, which Dolph's associates obviously didn't take too kindly to.
I don't find no beside two real niggas. Two real niggas with a in the middle, man. Y'all don't do that, man. Don't find niggas. So, right here, y'all. Two guys.
The incident is pretty recent, and the Alphabet Boys still got a lot of digging to do to confirm whether or not the hit was orchestrated as some sort of revenge play as of right now. The specifics of the incident are just starting to slowly trickle in, but you already know how we do. So without further ado, let's skip the play and get down to business. Let's wind it back to the beginning, y'all. Big Jook was born Anthony Mims in Tennessee on January 26, 1979 in a notoriously crime-ridden neighborhood in Memphis. As a product of the Ridgecrest housing projects, Jook was no stranger to the gruesomeness that plagued the streets of Memphis, especially since his mom and dad were hustlers themselves, even getting arrested when he was just a youngin' in the 4th grade, leaving him and his younger brother Mario to think for themselves. After growing up real close to his brother Mario as his protector and trusted ally, Jook went on to play a big role in the founding of Collective.
Man, basically, man, them niggas getting back, man. They getting back, man. They get on the internet and go crazy with this shit, man. End up getting killed. And end up getting killed.
So right here, you have a bonnet baby going to go get them after, you know what I'm saying, they done the shooting. They come back in a white truck, bro. After they're hit, they really was hit. And they come back, and y'all about to see the video of that. There you go.
See that person there?
Yeah.
But who else been killed since Big Jook?
So right after the shooting, they come here to change.
Shit, somebody just got killed.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know how deep, because they never said they like went to a hospital. They talk about wrapping themselves up, getting his cousin brought him wound kit. Like what the hell, bro? Said he was hitting his leg, his arm, his back. Like what? This is crazy. So any second now you about to see them pull up. You know what I'm saying? They already ditched the white stolen Benz. That was already ditched. And then they jumped to this white truck right here, pulling up.
The white expedition?
Yeah, that's a white expedition.
Who's driving?
I'm driving.
This woman that we had seen earlier that lost back, is that Justice's cousin?
Yeah, that's her.
Oh, his cousin, a bonnet baby.
Stop it here. Driver just got out. Who's that?
It's me.
What's that?
You got your shirt all messed up, don't you?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I'm bleeding. I'm shot.
In the shoulder?
Yeah.
Go, and we saw somebody get out of the passenger side, is that right?
It's just.
Alright, you can play a little further. Gray sweatpants, black hoodie, and that hat we saw is Justin, is that correct?
Correct.
Same outfits that y'all were wearing during murder?
Correct.
Wow, they just walking regular like they ain't just dropped dope.
Y'all go inside, tell me what y'all do once y'all get inside.
We go to chain clothes. We didn't talk too much to us about nothing. We ran like this.
Alright.
But we did chain clothes with that.
Tell me about your shoulder.
Oh, I was bleeding. Like, I was bleeding and stuff, so she gave me some peroxide and stuff, put on my shoulder. Or then, and the wound keep pulled up. So I was able to bandage that junk up.
Wound kit. You said pulled up or came up, is that right?
Yeah.
Had Justin gone outside?
Yeah, he went outside, he took his bag.
Play that next video.
This is insane business, bro.
Do you know whose charger this is?
Nah, I don't know what y'all did.
Crazy. Bro, that's crazy how they're so calm after getting hit. Just drilled dope. And they just walked them back into the crib like they finished a pickup game of hoops. This is crazy, bro. And Yo Gotti brother put the money
on young Dolph's head. And then got killed himself a couple years after that. Ironically, at his people's funeral. Repass. Slid on him at a repass. So look, they ain't hit.
Come out. Who's that? Just. He's taking off the hoodie, is that right? Taking off the hoodie. He doesn't have the hoodie on anymore, does he? Nah, we had trying to close. What are these things in his hand? Oh, that's the wound key. Water from baby.
He probably bragging to them in the car about what he just did and everything.
Ain't really getting nothing out of it.
Somebody that just brung you something, a wound kit, you out there bragging, telling them what you just did, how you just did the hit.
Look, you can tell, like I said, it ain't like no wounds or the bullets like in them. They would have needed surgery, man. These your boy like grazed them or something. They had to get like grazed because there's no way that these are direct shots, bro. They would not be just this calm and chilling and changing clothes, and they would have get back in this whip, change this whip, and they be leaking crazy. So that's what happened, man. Ironically, unfortunately,
why the car shaking?
Gave them like superficial fleshy wounds because we all know that they would have had to go to the emergency if that bullet was still lodged 4 or 5 inches into you. Yeah, there ain't no wound kit for a bullet that's 5 inches into your body. 4 inches into your body. You know what I'm saying? Half a finger into your body. Like, you know. So, man, these wounds were superficial. They was able to just patch them, bandage them, like you said, put a little peroxide on them, and keep it pushing. So this right here is Justin Johnson. This is the one that had the Bass Pro hat on. And they say this is the wound kit. The wound kit done pulled up. And now he's bandaging himself, you know what I'm saying, and changed clothes. They over at the dope scene right now doing everything, you know what I'm saying? Taping off the scene, because at this time, they didn't have enough time to, you know what I'm saying? Was well past taping off the scene. They're fully about the process of the body and quick, you know what I mean, putting him inside the corners, the truck and everything. Because now this is like an hour after the murder. Less than an hour, because, you know what I mean, they ended up having to run, Google change, so that's probably like 30 minutes.
Ooh, boy.
Ditch the car, you know, 30 to 40 minutes. And this fool took his phone with him. And then left it in the murder car. He had to retrieve it for his boy. Rookie goons at its finest. Like I said, rookie goons. They're goons, but they're rookies at it, bro. You see how they was shooting. They didn't account for nobody shooting back. I done took stands right behind Dolph's car with the police grip. Hand on the booty cheeks of the gun. Squared. Locked down. I don't get it. Niggas want to shoot like this. This guy was shooting all goofy. I'm locked, squared, down, focused behind Dolph's car. I wouldn't have died.
It looks like a piece of clothing or something, is that right? Yeah. And then the wound care bags?
Yeah. I wouldn't need no wound kit.
Does he come back in the apartment? Yeah, he come back in with wound care. And then wound care wise, what happened?
Yeah, that car was shaking like a motherfucker.
He really got shot. Yeah, I got a shot. He had a scrape. Yeah, he got scraped on the bed.
Superficial, like I said.
After y'all get patched up, y'all leave the apartment? I had my girl from his phone and sent her the address to come get me. Okay.
Okay, you had used Justin's phone to text your girlfriend?
Right.
When y'all talked to Quinn, and he told y'all to move the car, did you tell him anything about your phone?
Yeah, I told him to get my phone at the cop, at the glove department. And he told me to beat him over at the car wash, get my phone, or whatever.
We can play the video of y'all leaving now. Does your girlfriend, in fact, come to pick you up?
This is the video of them leaving now.
Who's in the yellow hoodie?
Justin.
Just you get a hoodie. And me with the black.
And Gianna again, is that right? You're walking over here, what are you walking to?
Walking my grill truck and just pulled up.
Okay. So Chevy Trax, is that right?
Go. Let me out. Go. Let me out. They had it like, nah, bro. It's too reckless.
Oh, that shit, man.
L-E-B-U-R-Y.
Oh, this shit.
At Weston's Regional Forensic Center.
And what's your position?
I'm an assistant medical examiner.
And how long have you been in that position?
5 years.
Okay. And what does your job consist of?
Performing autopsies.
Okay. So could you tell the jury a little bit about your educational background?
So I attained my Bachelor of Science.
Just look at some. Let's look at random shit now. There's a lot of bullshit going on.
The picture behind me is of Zanaya, and that will always be haunting because it was taken just a short time before the evidence shows that she was never seen or heard from again. It was taken by Nazaya herself, a selfie.
Stop,
That's the
boy.
last known picture that we know about of her. It was pointed out to me by one of the detectives on this case and by one of the prosecutors. She is smiling and waving and saying hello. But little did she know that she was really saying goodbye.
This story is so incredibly tragic. Nazaya Harris, little 13-year-old girl, should be enjoying those teenage years, you know? Should be having fun, laughing with her friends, going to school, learning, doing all of those things, but she's not. And she's missing, but presumed to be dead and murdered. I want you to take a listen to Kim Worthy. That was the prosecutor from Wayne County. Here she is talking about the evidence against the man that they have accused of the murder. And there's a connection between this man and Nazaya's family, and a lot of the facts here are disturbing, to say the least.
The evidence shows overwhelmingly in this case that she is in fact deceased. The last time she was seen alive was January the 9th of this year, 2024, almost 9 months ago. Her missing status was reported to the Detroit Public School Police Department by her grandmother on that very day, when she never returned home from school. And again, that was January the 9th of 2024. In early February of 2024, the case was turned over to the Detroit Police Department. Frankly, that should have happened right away. But they began investigating immediately. The evidence would further show that through text messages,
Turn that down. Turn that down, boy.
Zanaya and this defendant were going to meet after school on January the 9th.
We know that she did indeed meet up with the defendant that we're charging in this case. We also know that several people close to Mr. Butts, who we were charging later, saw them together in several different locations, people that he knew well. We have evidence that at 9:30 p.m. on that day, that Mr. Butts checked into a motel and the Zanaya was never seen or heard from again. Not from her family, not from her schoolmates, not from her friends, not from social media where she was extremely active with her friends, not from teachers, no one. We know that she had no medical conditions that would cause a life-threatening medical emergency to her. And he, again, was the last person that saw her alive. She would have turned 14 years old just 10 days ago, on September the 16th of 2024. And again, no one has seen or heard from her. You look at that face, the horrors that she had gone through in her short life. The exploitation, the molestations, the sexual abuse, and the pregnancy that she was concealing. The evidence will show that from one of her text messages to and with Jarvis Butts. And we also know, the evidence will show, that there's no evidence of anyone else being the father of that child, other than the defendant himself, who we charged today. And he knew she was pregnant. We know that he was also searching for ways to abort the baby. We know that sexually explicit photos were requested by him of her, and that she complied and sent them to her. All at the hands, we allege, the man we are charging with her death and also her long-term sexual abuse. Today we are charging Jarvis Butts with 1 count of first-degree premeditated murder, 1 count of criminal sexual conduct in the second degree, and 1 count of child sexually abusive material. Today we are also charging Mr. Butts with more counts of criminal sexual conduct on 2 more girls, yes, girls, on 2 other separate cases. The girls in question now are 20 and 11 respectively today, but both were under the age of 13 years old at the time the offenses occurred that we're charging. Based on all the evidence that I've laid out now and much more that will be shown later in court, based on all these cases we will present in court, Mr. Butts targeted and befriended women who had to have sexual relationships with their young daughters. He would have relationships with their mothers, but his true desire was to have sex with their young daughters. That's what the evidence will show. He was a classic and expert groomer and pedophile.
Sounds so familiar. A lot of parallels with this case and what happened to Madeline Soto, Florida. And it's these predators. They know how to do it. They know how to get close to children. And that's apparently what happened here. I want to bring in a special guest with us tonight. Joining us from Detroit, Michigan, Isaiah Harris's cousin, Roxy. Roxy, thank you so much for joining us. This is a huge development in the case. Wanted to get first your reaction to the prosecutor, Kim Worthy, making the announcement that the charges have been brought in this case.
It's definitely a sense of relief here to finally be able to hear her say those words that we've been knowing from the beginning. Like I said in our last interview, you know, we, considering his background and things like that, we had our suspicions and to light today.
So, can you explain for us the connection of Jarvis Butts and Naziah and Naziah's family and your family?
The connection with Jarvis is Jarvis was Naziah's aunt, boyfriend, and they also have children together as well. So that was how he was able to be around the family as the immediate family that Naziah was living with, I assume as often as he wanted to be.
And his history, how well did people know his history and what he liked to do, which was prey upon children?
His history was very well known. I mean, he did do time in prison before for sexual misconduct of a 13-year-old girl or under as well. And I think he did 10 years in prison for that as well. And it was also very well known to her aunt who was her boyfriend, that he let it be known to her as well that he was also, a sexual predator, and he left the decision up to her whether she wanted to continue to have a relationship with him, and she continued to have a relationship with him, knowing that he previously had those charges against him, did time for it, and that he was a registered sex offender.
How long? Because what the prosecutor said, Prosecutor Worthy, long-term sexual abuse, and that's the part that just breaks your heart. How long did he have access to Nazaya?
From what the prosecutor said, they said that they have messages going back to 2022. However, I personally believe that he's been around the family longer than that, considering the fact of, the amount of children that he has with Nazaya's aunt, and those children, I think the oldest is probably 11 or 12 years old. So he's been around for a while.
I want to take a listen to the prosecutor here who was answering a question during this press conference. Let's take a listen.
Some of Nazaya's relatives said they produced a talk to CBS about allegations of sexual abuse both Nazaya and other kids. Did that ever make it to your office? Is that something that police have investigated before?
Yeah, let me just say this, that if anyone that is watching this press conference right now, or reads any of the coverage that I'm sure that you will give this, has any reason to believe that they were a victim of his or that they know something else, we certainly welcome them to contact the Detroit Police Department.
So it wasn't a direct answer to the question, but Roxy, from the position of the family, is there any level of frustration that the family knew of this, they were reaching out and nothing was done? Is anyone, like, there's obvious blame, Jarvis Butts is the one, right? But is there any level of shared blame amongst anyone else who didn't do anything here?
Absolutely. There's definitely lots of frustration within the family. There were family members that called CPS several times. There were family members that called the police as well, and nothing came of it. CPS is supposed to be, safeguard welfare for our children, and they're supposed to be able to respond promptly and do thorough investigations to be able to negate, reports of abuse and neglect. And because of the reports of the abuse and the neglect and the molestation that were reported to Child Protective Services, and for it to just seem like, there wasn't a thorough investigation being done or just turned a blind eye. And unfortunately, it's brought us to this very unfortunate event, which is, my cousin being deceased today.
That's exactly the problem, right? It's Child Protective Services. We want them to protect them before this happens. If we know of something, see something, say something, make a report, and unfortunately, Nazaya was not protected in all of that. I have to point out that your shirt says, "Where is Nazaya?" because she still hasn't been found.
Right.
How important is it?
Her body is still.
Turn that down, CJ.
They have not found her body. They
Turn
do
it
not
down.
have her body. So we will continue to ask, where is Nazaya, so that we can be able to give her the proper rest that she deserves. She didn't deserve any of this to happen to her. She was only 13 years old, or 14, 10 days ago, and it was hard to even try to have a celebration for her because it was not a celebration, and it should have been. So we will continue to ask, where is Nazaya, until we get those answers, because she needs to properly be laid to rest properly, because she deserves that.
Absolutely. And Roxy, it's important that the family does exactly what they're doing. Let everyone know this doesn't end right now. It doesn't end with an arrest. It doesn't end with a conviction.
Right.
Find Nazaya as well. Roxy, thank you so much. We'll speak to you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about this case. Now it's in our system of justice. You heard about the charges. You heard about CPS. Our think tank weighs in next.
We must be very careful who we let into our hearts and our homes and our lives, especially if you have children. Mr. Butts targeted and befriended women who had to have sexual relationships with their young daughters. He would have relationships with their mothers, but his true desire was to have sex with their young daughters. That's what the evidence will show. He was a classic and expert groomer and pedophile.
There he is, the accused murderer, made his way into that family so he could allegedly prey upon little Isaiah for years. For years. It sounds so familiar, and unfortunately it is. I want to bring in our think tank, Eklund Mercy, Kirk Nurmi, and Nima Rahmani. Here's the question, and I'll start with you, Kirk. Like, if the guy is a convicted child molester, gets out, we know who he is. The family, at least part of the family, very concerned. They're reaching out to CPS. If we can't protect that child, who can we protect?
You're right, Vinny. I mean, the sad reality is we have predators like this. You mentioned Madeline Soto. There was a little less different. We also think about Sandra Birchmore and some of the accused as a police officer there. So, yes, we can do all we can, and the prosecutor's advice to be very careful of who we let in our home.
Since that motherfucker didn't learn his lesson.
Children is very, very important, very well taken. And sadly, you know, you can see this
The death
over and over again. We just mentioned a couple of cases. These predators are so adept, and that's one of the reasons I believe that someone convicted of a crime of this nature, a leopard doesn't change his spot.
This is second time. Give his ass the death penalty.
Once convicted of such crimes, so he wouldn't be in a position where he is now. I think that's where the real solution lies.
I agree.
Give him the death penalty. The second time.
Right? Like, the time that the system has to step in is when the child is not being protected at home. Like, that's the purpose of child protective services. Known pedophile makes his way into the family, and there is someone in the family, I think more than one, reached out to CPS. Like, I don't understand how this continues to happen, how they don't, 2 + 2 = 4. Like, it's simple. Like, someone's got to step in. If the family's concerned, but there's some sort of fracture in the family about this particular man and what his role is, someone has to step in and help the child.
Vinny, you're absolutely right. The system is broken, and they absolutely let down Isaiah. First prosecutors and this courts for giving him a second and third chance when he's molested others under the age of 13. You have family members. Obviously, Butts has a sexual relationship with Isaiah's aunt, and that gives him access where the family members doing. Apparently, some of them called CPS, but they didn't step in. And even with respect to Isaiah herself, there's a coworker that sees what's going on. There's Butts, and these are all allegations of what's Butts' own sister. They check into a motel together. She hasn't had her menstrual cycle. She's pregnant at the age of 13. I mean, there's so many warning signs, Vinny. And if anyone had stepped in and done their job and done the right thing to protect this young girl, she'd probably still be alive today.
Eklund, people who work for CPS don't get paid a lot. They've got tons of cases. They've got tons of files. But I'm looking at this from that perspective and all the adults in her life. And no one took the action necessary to save her. No.
I actually have a problem with it. Starts with, since 2005, Mr. Butts was on the sex offender registry. He currently is on the sex offender registry and is showing as compliant. When you are on the sex offender registry, you can't even be around a child, look at a child, be on social media or anything like that. He wasn't even supposed to be in the same vicinity of this child, let alone be able to do anything. The moment anybody called anybody with regards to him being in the vicinity of a child, he should have been arrested because he's on the sex offender registry. So it's not CPS and the caseworker's issue. It's a criminal issue because he's a criminal and he was on the sex offender registry. But currently, those that are in charge of it have him currently as compliant. So the system, it broke in 2005, not in 2024. So this man has been able, he did what he was supposed to do. The people who put him on the list didn't do what they were supposed to do. And this is a problem. He's been on the list.
Kurt, there seems to be no purpose of the list. Like, we make a list. All right, here's a list. That's great. You've got to do something about the list. There has to be some level of monitoring, follow-up, some level of coordination. So it's the family, adults in our at home. And then you've got the other part that our system is not getting the job done, filling the gaps where they need to. It's absolutely mind-numbingly frustrating, Kirk.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, but Ethan raises an excellent point.
Hey.
Once that family members, once they contacted authorities, if he's on a sex offender registration, whether it's related to an offense for which he's on probation or whether it is a new offense violating those terms, being in contact with minors, that should in fact be enough to put him in prison, not just have CPS intervention. So to some extent, in the defense of the family, they really did all they could in the sense of with authorities. It was the police and what have you that failed to follow up on the sex offender registration. And one of the explanations for that is there's a lot of people on that registration which people can fall through the cracks, which goes back to my earlier, the idea that they shouldn't be out. There shouldn't be a sex offender registration list. There should just be a sex offender prison with a lifelong residency.
I agree. Kirk Nurmi, Nima Rahmani, Ekla Mercy, great to see you. Thank you so much.
It's crazy, man. They got all this shit going on. It's a lot of bullshit.
It was supposed to be a beautiful Easter morning in 2021. What happened next would never be forgotten for this family. We've been tracking this case for the last 2.5 years. After dozens of open records requests and the hiring of an attorney, we finally obtained the records related to this tragic incident and go in depth on the story behind it. 911 calls detail the seriousness behind what took place.
April 4, 2021, 10:32:35.
Please confirm the address of your emergency.
Yes, there's been a severe car accident.
Where? What's the crossing?
What's the crossing? Bubble Bar. County Road 5.
Okay, how many vehicles?
Two vehicles.
And then injured?
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of injuries?
We don't know. We're driving past it.
That's completely total. Okay, are you there anymore?
No, we've driven by.
Okay, they stop. They've been on the way this entire time. This is just getting more information for them for when they arrive, okay? Like I said, we have a lot of help on the way. Thank you for calling.
Yep, thank you.
10:32:39.
911, is this a life-or-death emergency? Yes, it is. There was a car crash at 42, like right by the... Hold on. 42 and 1.
But I don't know. Whatever's by the bowling bar. The red car was turning like by the...
What happened? Accident or... I can't understand.
Yes, the car crash.
Is anyone injured?
Yes.
Okay, is it blocking traffic? I need someone to talk to me.
The car's on fire. There's one car on fire.
A car's on fire from it? Which car's on fire?
The white car. The Chrysler car's on fire.
Okay, do you see flames or just smoke?
Yes, there's flames and smoke.
Okay, is anyone in the vehicle that's on fire?
No, not in the vehicle. The car and the SUV. There's somebody that is
Stop, boy. Move somewhere. If y'all don't know who this rapper is,
Clean that you wanna be.
he killed his mama for the insurance money to further his career. Shall we begin?
You only as clean as you wanna be. Come on, the day started. Luxury car, healthy blood, temperature just right so you comfortable. Music low, not that loud. First you turn on 11, on 11. Sunroof, extra light. This is what's wrong with me. In the mall, Northfield side. Different levels to this thing. Because I seen King Louis flexing on one of these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Today's flow. Versace.
When Kwame Wilson didn't show obvious grief at his mother's funeral, his cousin chalked it up to shock that he was just having trouble processing her death. The young man didn't sit in the front row of the church near Yolanda Holmes' casket and spent much of the service hanging outside, according to friends and relatives, some of who found his behavior at the September 2012 funeral very odd. Prosecutors alleged the 24-year-old actor, dancer, and rapper, who goes by the name Young QC, had a reason for looking suspicious.
His deep sadness over the killing of Medea Pendleton was evident as hundreds gathered outside the Greater Harvest Baptist Church. WGN's Randy Bellasomo has that story.
The crowd began to form hours before services were scheduled to start. A solemn air settled upon South State as the casket of 15-year-old Medea Pendleton arrived. Hers wasn't a life that was to turn out this way. She was cut above the street violence that has plagued our city. Kwame Wilson lost his mother to gun violence on November 14th.
My mother, she was a neighborhood woman. A guy entered her home, and murdered her, just to steal.
Many parents here say this time it feels like it was one of their own.
Kwame Wilson grew up without his father, Jeffrey Todd Wilson, and was raised by his mother, Yolanda Holmes. Wilson's father had been largely out of his life for at least 20 years. Wilson's father, Jeffrey Todd Wilson, is serving a life sentence in Statesville Correctional Center in Crest Hill, Illinois for murder. The reputed West Side gang leader was arrested in 1993. Authorities accused him of setting fire to an apartment building in 1990 that killed 2 low-level crack house workers after the dealer who ran the drug den refused to pay a street tax of $500 to $1,000 a month. Holmes wanted to ensure that Wilson would never have to use gangster tactics to get what he wanted. His cousin Banks said she didn't want the street swallowing him up. Prosecutors say Wilson, Holmes' only child and sole beneficiary, masterminded a robbery on his 45-year-old mother that led to her death, and then emptied her bank accounts and collected life insurance policies after she was slain. After his arrest last month, authorities said he told detectives he set the robbery up for quote-unquote financial gain. An aspiring Chicago rapper who posted a video on YouTube of himself throwing thousands of dollars that he inherited from his mother to his quote-unquote fans has been sentenced to 99 years in prison for her 2012 murder for hire killing. Kwame Wilson, 30, was sentenced Friday by a Cook County judge who also sentenced a convicted gun, Eugene Spencer, to 100 years, the Chicago Sun-Times reported. Both men were convicted last March of first-degree murder, attempted murder, and home invasion in the killing of Yolanda Holmes, who was a hairstylist in Chicago's Uptown neighborhood, the newspaper reported. Prosecutors said Holmes doted on her son, an only child, lavishing him with fancy clothes, jewelry, and a Mustang, but that he wanted more. Wilson, then 23, sent Spencer to his mother's apartment to kill her in September 2012 so that Wilson could raid her bank account.
I wish you would turn that down.
The word is matricide, meaning murder of one's own mother. Cook County Judge Stanley Sack said Friday as he stared from the bench at Wilson and Spencer. Whatever he wanted, his mother gave to him. A car, a job. One could say he was spoiled. She gave Kwame life, and it was his choice to take it away from her. Records show that Wilson withdrew nearly $70,000 from his mother's accounts in the months after her death, spent the money on flashy clothes, and to customize the Mustang she had given him to have gold wing doors added to the vehicle.
14th of September 2015, Southern Church is interviewing him in involved in 1010 3G. What's your name?
My name was.
What's your ID number?
2013, 1224, 144.
What happened on 3G?
I was standing by the phone, and then that guy, I don't know him. I don't know where he came from. I don't know who he is. He got off the table and took his shirt off. I'm buttoning his jumpsuit, and that took me into got in like fighting position. I didn't know if he was playing. I didn't know if he was for real or what. I don't know. I've never seen him before. And then he got real close. And then he swung, and then fight occurred, and then the guy tried to stop it, the other guy tried to stop it, and then it stopped. Then I was looking away, then next thing I know, when I turned around, he came back up again and tried to swing on me again. And then I just held him until y'all came, and that's it.
14th, 2015, Southern Church interviewing him in involved in 10-3G. What's your name? What's your ID number?
Get
2015-22201.
out that way.
What happened upstairs on 3G?
Had an altercation with a young man. He stepped to me, asked me that I want to fight him in my personal, in my fist. Continued to fight, and another guy came in behind me. I did not know where I was.
That it?
There have been numerous pictures that have surfaced online since Young QC's incarceration. He's been seen in photos and videos with King Lil J himself live from Cook County. There was news that started to spread that Young QC was killed while serving his time in Cook County. DNAinfo.com provided information clearing up rumors that Kwame was killed in Cook County Jail. All of those rumors were proven to be false via the info found on this website. Instead, reports show that Young QC was
That nigga gay as hell.
before suffering multiple stab wounds. He survived it.
And he in there with Lil J. Hold on. They gonna show him doing that right after they show pictures with him and Lil J, man. That shit crazy, man. Them niggas zesty as hell, man.
Y'all have it, man. That's been the story of Kwame Wilson. I just want to end this by saying, fuck that dude. You know what I'm saying? You don't get no respect at all, bro. Like, you was literally spoiled, bro. Like, you had everything that you could ever ask for. Like, literally. Fuck that dude. Hey, man, get in the comment section, man. Let me know what y'all think.
Yeah, fuck
Drillers
dude.
and trappers. We out here trapping and drilling 247.
That dance was crazy.
Stepped to me, asked me that I want to fight him in my personal,
That shit was crazy.
Another guy came in behind me. I did not know where I was.
There have been numerous pictures that have surfaced online since Young QC's incarceration. He's been seen in photos and videos with King Lil J himself live from Cook County. There was news that started to spread
Him and King Lil J.
while serving his time in Cook County. DNAinfo.com providing information clearing up rumors that Kwame was killed in Cook County.
Diddy in the chat.
All of those rumors were proven to be false via the info found on this website. Instead, reports show that young QC was raped in the shower before suffering multiple stab wounds. He survived his injuries and continues to serve his time. Alright, y'all, so there y'all have it, man.
He got raped in the shower, y'all.
Wilson. I just want to end this by saying
He got raped in the shower,
you know what
y'all.
I'm saying? You don't get no respect at all, bro. Like,
It's
you
crazy.
literally spoiled, bro. Like, you had everything that you could ever ask for. Like, literally. Fuck that dude.
Ricky Jackson, y'all. Ricky Jackson home, y'all. Ricky Jackson. Some nigga named Ricky Jackson. Ricky Jackson. Murder in 1975.
It was in front of Judge George McMonagle, and there was a finding of guilty at that point, and Mr. Jackson actually was sentenced to death in penitentiary, and the appeals at least took that away from the state. But since then, there's been a motion for a new trial. We had a hearing a few days ago, in which a new trial was granted, and Mr. Al-Dalla.
I've asked the state of Ohio for 3 years. Mr. McGinty said the other day the state of Ohio does not make a motion to dismiss the case.
All right, the case will be dismissed. Mr. Jackson is going to be free to go. I suggest to you that life is filled with small victories, and this is a big one. Know who your friends are, because you're always going to want a piece of you. You better trust people who you know you can trust. So I wish you good luck.
Nigga look like Puff Daddy.
Story tonight is about Mary Jones. She's in her 70s, but she just began a new life. She was released from prison this week after serving more than 3 decades behind bars for a crime she didn't commit. Ben Tracy has her story.
I just knew in my spirit that it wasn't right. And I knew that God was going to open the doors, in his time.
32 years ago, Mary Jones fell in love with a man named Mose Willis.
Not knowing who he really was.
Who wasn't a good guy.
No.
Willis killed him during a drug deal in an alley. Mary Jones drove him there. He forced him.
Yes. At gunpoint, yes.
And you felt like had you not driven that car, he would have killed you.
Yes.
In 1981, she was convicted of first-degree murder and given a life sentence. But Mary Jones's case was reopened with help from Laura Donaldson and other law students at the University of Southern California. They argued Jones had been abused by her boyfriend and forced into the crime. On Monday, a judge ordered her released, and Jones's family released their joy. Her daughter, Denitra, spoke outside the courthouse.
I'm excited. We got a lot of Mother Days to catch up on that are unconfined.
Okay, thank you. Today, she took her mom to the
How long
DMV
she
to
did?
get an ID card. Mary Jones is now 74. In 32 years, what do you feel you missed?
Well, I miss my grandbabies. I didn't get to hold them on my lap. I didn't get to see them crawl. So I missed all of that. I did.
Behind bars, Jones started a Bible study and was known as Mother Mary. Former inmate Patricia Elder was there to welcome her when she was freed.
You become like family. When you're there for all that many years with people,
What did you learn about yourself in 32 years in there?
I learned patience.
We've been live for a minute.
Yes, you do.
Damn.
You have to hurry up and wait.
3
She
decades.
waited 11,875 days to be free. Ben Tracy, CBS News, Los Angeles.
That nigga hit that dance. What was he on?
You only as clean as you want to be.
Better?
There was news that provided information clearing up rumors that Kwame was killed in Cook County Jail. All of those rumors were proven to be false via the info found on this website. Instead, reports show that young QC was raped in the shower before suffering multiple stab wounds.
What the fuck is they on, man? And on that note, we gonna end the show, man. It get to looking like that. On that note, we gotta end the show. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless y'all. Good night. Keep your eyes open and trust none, man. We ended it on that note.
DNAinfo.com provided information clearing up rumors that Kwame was killed in Cook County Jail. All of those rumors were proven to be false via the info found on this website. Instead, reports show that young QC was raped in the shower before suffering multiple stab wounds. He survived his injuries and continues to serve his time.